For the Smithson Valley Rangers, it's been a season of highs and not many lows. As East Central's Hornets come to town for the 2017 homecoming game, the Rangers have no reason to let down. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ranger Stadium. My name's Tony Brubaker, and I'm alongside former Baylor Bear and Washington Redskin Jeff Gandy. Austin Milam is on stats, and we welcome you to Ranger Stadium for what we expect to be another great football game, Jeff, as the Rangers come to town 4-0, and it's the second district game of the season. What else do you want?
Well, Tony, it's nice to be 4-0 at the end of September. I mean, every coach, that's their goal for September. You know, I think, but more importantly, at this point in the season, the Rangers kind of have an identity. They really figured out who they want to be this season. And we've seen that throughout the last 4 games where they've had some adversity, we've had some injuries, and they've had some men come up, and really there's been no decline in the execution whatsoever. You know, I thought that they have become a team of toughness, and they look like they're in mid-season stride right now.
It is near mid-season as they got through the first big hurdle of the season when they upended Steele, one of the state's best teams, last weekend here at Ranger Stadium. And, Jeff, I know that's a game that everyone has talked about in the vicinity because Steele's now 1-3, and that's not something that's ever happened.
No. Typically you have Judson and Steele at the top of the district ranks. But Smithson Valley, Tony, as you know, they love the process. It doesn't matter what player's in the process, they work that process out. And it is a very successful way of conducting their program. And so we saw a good game last week. Obviously, Smithson Valley won the game. They come in tonight. They play a team that's 0-4. So a little bit of different perspective of the two games.
No doubt. It's all about culture and the kind of culture that Larry Hill has installed. We'll talk more about that when we come back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything. Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. We expect another explosive type of game from both sides of the ball from the Rangers, Jeff. And this is a Ranger team right now that seems to be clicking on so many ways, even though, as you mentioned, there's been some injuries. Quarterback Levi Williams is not one of those injuries. He's one of those surprises. Just looking at just raw numbers, 66% percentage of throwing the ball for almost 600 yards, and he's run the ball for almost 200 yards. And he's a guy that, again, 4 weeks ago we knew nothing about.
But that's typical of the culture and the system that is here embedded with Smithson Valley Rangers. You know, they're averaging now 43 points per game. And, you know, the good thing about the Rangers, they have a lot of men that they could actually get the ball in their hands. I mean, they're deadly on the outside with Woodard. And they can also hand off to Mark Franco, who came in last week and did a marvelous job filling in for Aiken when he went down with an injury. So they have a lot of kids with talent, but they fit really well within the system.
It is an offense that relies on both running the ball and throwing the ball. The receivers, and there's a number of them that have made big plays. Ricky Rios leads the team with, well, there's a lot of guys with 2 touchdowns now, but he's had 2 big touchdowns, one a game winner in week 1. And Trayvon Merrick Woodard also is the playmaker of playmakers with the ability carrying the ball on those wide receiver jet sweeps, and he's also caught 6 balls for 136 yards. A couple of dangerous guys, and we don't even mention a guy like Mason Pierce, who all of a sudden has said, well, I'm here too.
Exactly. And, don't forget about the horses up front that make it all work. Those linemen, it's a senior-led front line, and they average around 250, 255 pounds. They're big, they're strong, they're quick, and they execute really well.
It is an offensive line that has done really well so far. Now to the defensive side of the ball. I don't know, there's a lot of guys to highlight, but none bigger than Jacob Zuber, the senior outside linebacker. A team-high 43 tackles, 11 of them unassisted, a tackle for loss, a quarterback sack, a quarterback hurry, and a caused fumble. He's been on so many plays this year.
Tony, that's what you want your linebacker to do. Be all over the field, scraping inside out, making tackles. And, for him, he had 12 tackles against Steele. That means that you were pretty darn active last week.
He did run to the ball, but they all ran to the ball. And I want to compliment really what I think has been a difference of this year's team. We graduated some size in the middle of the line. Now Trey Witcher and Manoa Paupau are 2 defensive tackles that seem to just be nuisances in there and disrupt everything. One with 20 tackles, one with 11 tackles, and defensive tackles don't always get a lot of tackles because of their hand-to-hand combat that they're in.
Well, typically, and you hit the nail on the head, typically the defensive tackles are to keep the linemen off the linebackers. But it's funny how these tackles, and you mentioned them, Paupau and Witcher, they're getting such penetration in the backfield on passing situations. They're coming up with a lot of quarterback knockdowns, hurries, and even sacks. And that's definitely putting the opponent in a long down distance situation.
It is going to be an interesting battle tonight, and we'll have it for you in just a few minutes. We're going to take another timeout and then come back with our Coach Hill pregame interview, so stay with us here on the Ranger Network.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and is hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
Just press enter and your GVTC home DVR will record your show automatically.
Thanks, Doug from GVTC, who looks exactly like Ranger Senior CJ Keeler.
I'm just Doug, here to help.
Fumble!
Here you go. Can I help you set up your favorite channel list now?
Welcome back to Inside Rangers Football. Brave Freeman with Smithson Valley head coach Larry Hill. The Rangers are 4-0, 1-0 in 27 6A play, and they can make those records 5-0 and 2-0 with a win this Friday at home against the East Central Hornets. Coach, the Hornets come into this game struggling. They're 0-4 so far this year, lost their opener in 27 6A play to Clemens. Initial impressions of East Central, what stands out?
Well, I think defensively their front stands out. People are having a hard time getting a lot of movement, running the ball successfully. People have had a little success running the ball outside, maybe throwing the ball a little bit. But I think those guys play extremely well, and I think they've got some playmakers on offense. They're figuring out how to get them the ball still and that sort of thing. And so we'll need to play well. There's no doubt. We always do. We're not the type of team that can ever think, well, we've got this or we've got that. We got to cross all the T's and dot all the I's, and we'll do that this week, and they'll get our best on Friday.
One of those playmakers in offense is Blade Strelchek. He's had the football about 20 times this year for over 300 yards, so certainly he's making the most of his opportunities. In terms of slowing down East Central's offense, what is that going to take?
Well, I think keeping them away from explosive plays. You mentioned the Strelchek kid. Being an East Central boy, I know how to pronounce that guy's name, Strelchek. He probably lives in St. Hedwig, but he's a former quarterback. He's making his hay running the ball, catching the short one, going up the field. And so keeping them from getting the 50, 60-yarder, making them drive the football, I think will be good. And then can we make some explosives? Their secondary tends to play loose. Can we take a short catch and throw and turn it into something big? Can we take a short run and turn it into something big and beat them in the explosive area?
You mentioned to play other defense. How do they line up? What looks you expecting to see?
Well, they're a four-man front that occasionally will play some three down. They've been kind of back and forth on that, so we're going to have to prepare for both, which is a little concerning. Most people usually base one way, and so it'll be a challenge for our offensive line to recognize quickly what they're doing and be on the right people.
You know, anytime we preview the East Central game, and you already kind of alluded to this, we can't help but bring up the fact that you yourself are a former Hornet. How special is this game for you anytime you line up on the other side against East Central?
Well, you know, it's the game each year that I know both alma maters, you know, and my dad coached there. My brother and I played there. I've got a lot of warm friends that still live out there that at times have had kids that play there. So, you know, I hope they lose this week, but I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for the East Central Hornets.
A lot of times, Coach, you speak to anybody coaching high school, college, or pro, and they'll ask coaches about bouncing back from losses. I actually want to ask you about bouncing back from a win. I mean, you know, I know that for your program, you never get too caught up in wins or losses against anybody, but you did beat Steele, a state powerhouse, over, you know, the last 5 or 6 years or so. So that was a big win for you. How do you recover from that and focus on East Central?
Well, our kids know how we do things, whether we're bouncing back from a loss or a win, whether we played a highly regarded foe or someone who's not. Monday's Monday and we do these things. Tuesday's Tuesday and we do these things. And I think there's comfort in a routine, and I think that we'd like to think that that keeps kids from inevitable highs and lows that could happen during the season if we kind of go through the checklist every week. We'll be going through the checklist the same this week, whether we had beaten Steele or not. And so our kids know that, they're comfortable with that. That doesn't surprise them whenever we take that approach. And so we'll be ready. If we don't play well Friday, it'll be because East Central's taking it to us. It won't be because we're too busy looking back or looking ahead.
All right, Coach. Good luck on Friday.
All right. Thank you, Brant.
So this is it, huh?
Yep. This is where it all starts and finishes.
Joe Pavelek, Jeff Shin, Alan Hill, Pat Bailey, Matt Hilson, Clint Haney, Cody Fuller, Eric Anders, Garrett Smith, Andrew Sendejo, Josh Adkins could have dressed in the soccer.
We got work to do, kid.
We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna get him on the run, we're gonna keep him on the run, then we're gonna go, 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 go. We won't stop until we're across that goal line. This is a team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. So what do you say, man?
Let me give it a try. Making videos is not easy. It's confusing and it's hard work. Well, I'm here to tell you, when your back's against the wall, call Wick Productions. It's who we use for game night scoreboard production and the Rangers Network.
Amazing, Coach. Another perfectly executed shameless plug.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything. Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
And we're back to Ranger Stadium, just a minute or so away from the start of tonight's game, Jeff. And Why don't you give me 2 or 3 things that you think are most important for the Rangers to perform tonight if they are to win this game?
Well, pretty simple. I wouldn't change a whole lot. They've been pretty successful the last 4 weeks, but in this particular situation, coming off a high, real emotional win last week versus Steele, and now you're playing a team who hasn't won a game this year, I think basically come out and play very fast. Be physical and be fearless in what you're doing. And just have that balanced offense, 1-to-1 ratio from run to pass, and then control the clock through that. And just do your business to take care of business. It's real simple.
You mentioned the Rangers won the toss, so they will kick off here to start the game as the Hornets will receive. And as usually the case, it is Mason Reed handling the kickoff chores. And 4 games into the season, I know one thing we talk about a lot on special teams is how good the kickoff coverage has been for the Rangers. That very seldom has a receiving back returned the ball with any kind of authority, and that's something we're looking forward tonight.
You can look at the kickoff as almost like an offensive play. How you place that kickoff is so important for field position.
So Mason Reed will put a toe to the ball and will be underway here at Ranger Stadium. The kickoff is a low line drive that sails into the end zone and will not be picked up by Damon Davis. So the Hornets will come out and start 1st and 10 as we're about ready to go. Their offensive situation is like this. Sophomore quarterback is Charles Oglesby. He has a wide receiver named Edward Stokes, a senior at 6 foot, 165 pounds, who's caught 11 passes for 118 yards and a touchdown. And Blake Strelzik is a 5'10", 160 senior who's caught 9 passes but also has 11 carries. So as they come out with Oglesby at quarterback, a lone setback behind him, 2 receivers to the right. Oglesby takes it, fakes it, throws a quick pass out to the right flat. That looks like Strelzik, who makes a good catch, spins back to the middle, gets tackled by a couple of different defenders. Looks like Woodard is there as well as Witcher, so a gain of about 6 on 1st down at 2nd and 4.
It looks like the Hornets came out in 11 personnel. That means 1 running back, 1 tight end, and that leaves you 3 wide receivers. And that time, Oglesby just saw that the inside receiver, his man was 12 yards off, so it was an easy that's who you need to throw it to. It's really easy.
Easy pass and catch. So they'll send 2 receivers out to the left this time. Everything else looks the same. The handoff is made, but nowhere to go is the running back that looks like it could be Frank Lott. We saw it is Lott. Michael Stevens, the starting tailback, was in street clothes during warm-up, so we don't expect to see him tonight. So Lott gets, really, it loses a yard on the carry by good interior defense. It's 3rd and 5. Hornets have a huddle as they wait for the call from the sideline, and Oglesby finally comes up with it. A single receiver left, 2 to the right. A tandem of backs in the backfield, 1 behind and 1 to the right. Snap, and the ball is loose and down before contact, but then there was contact, is the receiver who took the handoff. Looked like that was the man who was back in kick coverage, Damon Davis, listed as a defensive back on the roster. He was the slot back that was going to get the handoff there. And it goes awry. A loss of several makes it 4th and 13.
Not a good way to start the game if you're a Hornet fan, but maybe they can get a good punt off here and flip the field position.
Woodard is back. Strelzik is the punter. It's a short kick. It's a good bounce. Gets a Hornet bounce, and it'll cross midfield to about the 45. So it's a punt of 32 yards, exactly, 32. And the Rangers will start in great field position. As we mentioned this last week in the Steel game, the Rangers always seem to be in good field position in that game, and that was went a long way to helping them.
Well, that whole field position was set up by that 3rd and 5, where there was a missed handoff by Oglesby, and it resulted in a fumble and recovered by them. But by the time you get the punt off 32 yards, here you have the Rangers starting off in great field position.
So from the 46, A receiver either way. Williams fakes a handoff, now has some receivers down the field. It's a nice throw and catch. It's Rios down the sideline, inside the 30, now across the 20. Has one man to beat at the goal line, and he doesn't. He makes it in. He doesn't get stopped, and that's a first play touchdown of 54 yards from Levi Williams to Ricky Rios, the third touchdown of the season for Rios, and that was way too easy.
Way too easy. That's basically a slot formation, bootleg away from it, and you have Rios dragging across the field, and the linebackers didn't even pick him up. He was wide open and ran it in for the touchdown.
Coverage was like there was no one there is the best way to describe it when Rios came across the field. Mason Reed in to try the extra point. And the snap is bobbled, and we're going to try to throw it, and it goes incomplete. The holder is Jeremiah Gilliam, the backup wide receiver, the junior. I don't know if the snap was a little too low. He didn't handle it real well, so he picked it up and tried to make a play out of it. So it goes awry, and the Rangers lead it 6-0 with the failed extra point.
Yeah, that's pretty much an automatic. If there is a bobble or a flubbing of the snap from the center to the holder, it's an automatic go call, and you pick it up and you try to find the open receiver and try to get something out of nothing. That time, the pass fell a little short.
So Gilliam's attempt for a two-point conversion after the bobbled snap goes awry, and now the Rangers will do what they just did a couple of minutes ago, and they'll kick off again. We're at 9:43 in the first quarter, so we played 2 minutes and some change, and the Rangers are up 6-0.
You know, the one thing that we've noticed the last 4 games, Tony, when it comes to East Central and their defense, they're real susceptible to that explosive play, the big play that's over 15 yards or plus, and that plays exactly the same thing that's been killing them all season long.
Mason Reed will again get himself ready. Our official signal is made, so Reed will move to kick. This one again a line drive. It'll bounce and into the end zone it goes, and again Davis wants nothing of it, and Hornets will start 1st and 10 from the 25. I don't know, as well as the Rangers have kicked off this season, I don't know if the Hornets just say we don't really want to go against this and get pinned down deep. If we let it go into the end zone, which Reed does an awful lot,
right,
we'll at least start off on the 25, and that's what they'll do again.
Well, let's see what they do coming out their second series. They were successful hitting that slot quick pass. It's just a quick hitch. We'll see if they go back to it.
So 2 receivers break out to the left. There's a tight end and a wing on the right. Oglesby takes it, gives the handoff. It's to Lott, and he gets a couple of yards as he stumbles across the 25. He had some pressure, defensive line pressure that came in there. Was Pow Pow, who got a leg on him, but then he was down at the 27-yard line, so a gain of 2.
Right. You know, it's interesting to note, when you look at the Hornets' offensive line, there's 2 sophomores that are starting at the offensive line, so they're younger. They're not as big as the defensive line for the Rangers, so it's funny how they're trying to establish themselves in the running attack on the front end of the game.
So 2 receivers left again, a tight end right. Now the slot is on the left side. Oglesby wants to wiggle out to the left, and then as he gets pressure on a nice hit by Keeler, pardon me, he throws it incomplete out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Keeler did a real nice job that time, just coming off the edge, didn't get faked out by the fake and the handoff, and put pressure on Oglesby that really resulted in a bad pass. So great job by Keeler.
Keeler goes up against a junior offensive lineman who has not hit him yet, I don't believe. So it is 3rd and 8. A single setback behind Oglesby. He gets the ball. It's Lott. Has a seam to the right that gets shut quickly by Will Gibbons. He'll end up getting a yard, maybe 2, up to the 29, I think's the spot, and that'll bring up 4th down and 6.
The Hornets are staying that 11-man personnel package, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers, and they're trying to establish the run right off tackle with that. But the defensive front 7, Victor Case and Powell and Witcher did a nice job keeping the lineman off so that Gibbons could make the tackle.
So again, Strelzik is in to punt. This one again low, fielded by Woodard at the 40. He's coming right. Then he hesitates, gets a block. Now he's kind of pinned, moves out of it, and then gets forced out of bounds. And there's a late flag coming in, and I don't know if it's a late hit out of bounds because that's usually what happens on a late flag like that. Woodard's down at the 46, I believe, is where they spotted him, the Hornet 46, so a gain of about 14 yards on the 30-yard punt, 31-yard punt. But we'll have to wait and see what the flag is, as our referee tonight is checking with Larry Hill what he wants to do, but I don't think he really has a choice. Indication is...
I think it's against the Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, personal foul.
Yeah.
You know,
dead
Smithson
ball,
Valley,
personal foul, yeah.
They really pride themselves on their special teams, and that's a little odd. There was just a late hit, late block outside the when the play was blown dead. There was a block, and that's just not necessary.
So the Rangers, instead of being in Hornet territory, will be back at their own 39. Still good field position from their 39, but not as good as it could have been. Two receivers out to the left. Tandem of backs, one on either side of Williams. It's a fake sweep right. The pass out to Ordelzo Hunter, and he'll go for almost 10 yards. They'll spot him up at midfield. It'll be a first down on an 11-yard gain. Ordelzo Hunter, with his 7th reception of the year, gets a first down for the Rangers.
Nothing fancy there. Just fake the handoff and hit the open inside receiver. They were man up on the outside with Thompson and Pena.
So now a single receiver. The tailback gets the ball up the middle. Nice gain. Looked like Franco again with about 6 yards up to the 44 of East Central. Nice job defensively. Give the credit of the tackle to Alan Dukes.
Typically in a situation like this, we have 4 wide receivers, 1 back. They're going to try to throw the football because they're ahead of the change at 2nd and short.
So in motion comes Cervantes. Williams wants to throw. He has a man down the middle. It's Pierce, and he overthrew him. Nice looking design, as Pierce had beat the defensive back on the play. But Williams, I don't know that he was hurried too much, just threw it a little too far.
No, yeah, he just launched it. But that's pretty traditional. When you get 2nd and short and you bring in an extra wide receiver, look for the pass, and that's what they did.
So the Rangers now on 3rd and 4. Takes some time as the play clock nears 10 seconds. It's rebooted.
Yeah, he reset it.
Because of the length of the distance the players had to come back to the huddle. So the play clock now at 15 as they send 2 receivers right, 3 men in the backfield. One of them is Hunter. Williams wants to throw it out to the outside and throws it over the top of Ricky Rios. So for the 2nd pass in a row, Levi Williams' arm strength has cost him some problems there. This time, if Ricky Rios was taller than his 5'11" frame, he might have had a chance, but probably would have had to be about 6'11" to catch it.
Well, that was the exact same play they ran on 1st down, Tony, except this time Williams threw it just a little bit too high. Looks like he's throwing off his back leg more instead of planning and really driving off that back leg. He's throwing off of it.
So on 4th and 4, the Rangers are going to go for it. Williams to Franco. He gets hit. There's a flag in there, probably in the area of holding. Williams. All right, so Franco is short on 4th down, so it would be East Central ball without the flag at their own 42. We'll see what the flag is and what the call will be.
Looks like it is going to be holding. Yeah.
Franco got hit right when he got to the line of scrimmage, so there really wasn't a whole lot of chance that he was going to get free for a first down there.
Well, I'll tell you what, 91, Jordan Shedrock did a nice job, the nose tackle for the Hornets. He got such great penetration. He kind of blew up the whole play because he got back in the backfield so quickly. And that way, Franco didn't really have a whole lot of choice except to shimmy by there, and you only picked up a yard.
Right. So they'll turn it over on downs as the penalty is declined. And East Central has the ball at their own 41-yard line. 2 receivers come out to the left. There's a tight end right and a lone setback behind Oglesby and a wing, if you will, on the left side. Oglesby wants to throw. Quickly he does to the receiver that had a defensive back a long ways away. And again, it's good for a first down as the catch is made by Taylor Neal, a junior receiver. And that's his second catch of the season, and it's good for a first down.
That's that same play that they opened the game with. It's just a quick hitch to the inside receiver. If the defender is 12 yards off, they can do that all day long. You have to come up and press that receiver and go man-to-man to take away that option.
And we have said that this season. The Ranger defensive backs do not press cover very often. They do give some space, and they're doing it again here with 2 receivers to the right. Oglesby takes the snap, hands it to Lott, and he's bottled up. A lot of people moving their feet, but no one going anywhere. I think Lott will get maybe back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be second down and 10. Down at the bottom of that pile is someone we don't call his number a whole lot, number 35. That is Thomas Zoig, the backup linebacker, a sophomore at 5'11", 180.
Well, you have to keep the defense honest. That's why they're trying to run the football on first down, to make sure those linebackers are uptight so that when they do want to try to hit the quick hitch pass, that basically they can't get out for the tackle.
Oglesby wants to throw again. He has a man open in the flat as a nice catch is made. That is Taylor Neal again. He's pinned on the sideline, then thrown out of bounds. And Ethan Seal with the tackle. It'll bring up third and about 5 on the gain of about 5 yards on second down.
Yeah, but we have a flag down, so hold on. Hold a minute.
Another flag. We'll see what the call is. Illegal man downfield is the initial indication. Look to me, can't always see. Referees don't always give great mechanics, so you're not real sure all the time, but our referee is talking with Larry Hill nonstop right now, so I'm guessing it is against.
It is. I think Coach Hill,
East Central,
he's trying to determine should he just decline it and take the down because, yeah,
ineligible. So it is second down. They'll take the yards.
Downfield against the Hornets is the call.
And now our referee has to go to the other side of the field and explain it to Joe Hubbard, the second-year head coach of the Hornets.
Hey, what's the player's number? That's what he's asking. Who was downfield? That little quick hitch play that they've been throwing to the inside receiver has been working fairly well, especially if they're going to give them that zone cushion off on the receivers. And I tell you, I'll just keep doing it until they adjust. The defense adjusts.
That time is a little different. Instead of just going down the field, he did a little out route.
Exactly.
Kind of rubbed off the defender that the outside guy went and ran up the field.
Right.
So they found something they like, but the penalty brings them back. It's second down and about 15 now from the 47-yard line. Ranger defense has been one of the strong suits of the team thus far. And East Central is finding that out. Now a receiver to the left and 2 to the right, so they've taken the tight end off the field. Handoff going right to a backup fullback and gaining about 10 yards.
Another flag.
And another flag. That's Damon Davis, who's one of the guys lining up in the slot. That time is run to the right side outside. And again, we'll have to see the flag. And these officials are having way too many conferences. If we played about almost 7 minutes in this first quarter, and that has to be at least the 4th or 5th penalty flag that we've seen.
Well, at this rate, they're going to have a sore arm from throwing their flags by the end of this game.
I tell you what I see as an officiating crew. They're very unsure about what they're doing. They're having
they just waved.
Way too many conversations. They're waving the flag off, so it's a run of about 8 yards for Davis. Bring up 3rd and 8 from the Ranger 46-yard line. They'll huddle up again as they wait for the call from the sideline.
Smithson Valley will probably stay in their zone defense in the secondary. But you just can't give them a whole lot of cushion because they're going to hit that. Well, they lined up. Here's a slot down here to the short side of the field. Here we go. They had 1 second left on the play clock.
And they
on the game clock, excuse me.
And they on the play clock. You were right. So they call a timeout. Does East Central? Will take it with them. The Rangers lead at 6-0. The Rangers, or the Hornets, trying to find their way right now and not having a whole lot of luck with it.
Hey guys, Tyler Florence here. This season, the Great Food Truck Race is headed way down south. 7 teams navigating culinary roadblocks in a race to victory. Are you ready to roll?
I'm ready. Are you ready? I don't think they're ready.
Wow.
All new, Sunday night at 9, the Great Food Truck Race on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 563. GVTC, just plain smart.
As we're back to Ranger Stadium, the Rangers lead at 6-0. 4:44 to go in the first quarter. The situation is it's 3rd down and 8 to go for the Hornets as they've ventured into the Rangers side of the field. They're at the 46-yard line. Sophomore quarterback Charles Oglesby got the assistance of his head coach there with the timeout as the play clock running down. Now with a couple receivers right, he'll fake a handoff and then throw it to the inside receiver. He won't get enough for a first down, though he catches the ball near the 46-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 3 as the Rangers rallied to that one quickly. Keeler in on the tackle, and it'll be 4th down, and it looks like the Hornets want to go for it.
They're going to go for it. I mean, why not? You have everything to gain, nothing to lose, and everything to gain by going 4 downs on every series.
So 4th and 3 from the 41. They'll send 2 receivers to the left. They've got a lone setback. Rangers forcing the issue with everybody up. Oglesby wants to throw. He'll throw it over the top, and there's a hold of the jersey by Mason Pierce, and the flag will come in, so that'll be pass interference. As it looked like that time, Adrian Zapata just flew up the left sideline, and Pierce got beat, reached out and grabbed his jersey.
Yeah.
And that's the penalty.
Well, there was no way that pass was going to be completed. Oglesby just basically just threw it up in the air. And Zapata was trying to run underneath it, but with the defender grabbing his jersey, there was no way he's even going to get close. That's an automatic penalty.
Unfortunately, Mason Pierce has no idea whether that's a catchable ball or not when he turns and sees the guy going past him. I know one thing he didn't want to happen would be a long touchdown pass, and the penalty at least gives you a chance to go back and play defense.
They teach you to grab, I guess. Once you get beat, grab. Maybe you get away with it. Typically, you do not. Most of the time, you don't get away with it.
That is correct. So as the play clock nears 15, the game clock goes under 4 minutes to go. Here come the Hornets again from the Rangers' 31-yard line. Oglesby looks to the sideline again as the play clock nears 5. Now gets ready. The snap comes. Fakes it to Lott. Gets some pressure. Throws it up. And it goes out of bounds. No one was going to catch that one.
I think they actually called a play dead. There was illegal procedure on the left side, Tony.
Good call. Good job by Pow getting in there and putting pressure on him. Did you hear the whistle?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, the far line judge, he's the one who threw his flag. There was movement somewhere up along the left side, either Ramirez or Martinez. Just moved just enough before the ball snap.
So the loss of 5 yards makes it 1st and 15 from the Rangers' 36.
1st and 15 from the 36.
You know, you think that the Hornets have had the ball a lot, and yet we've barely played 8 minutes. And they might have, I guess I could look, 26 yards. Here's Oglesby on the run. Left side gets brought down by Zuber after a gain of about 5 back to the original line of scrimmage at the 31. We haven't seen him run yet tonight, and we know he does run a lot, Jeff. So Probably a good time just to change it up.
That time it looked like it was almost like an option read play. He could either throw the football or keep it and run. That time he just kept it and run because the defensive end came upfield. He could dip underneath, and that's what he tried to do.
Didn't seem to remember them huddling a lot last year, but they are huddling this year. Play clock is going to run out again. Did he call another timeout? He did.
They did.
Coach Joe Hubbard forced to call his second timeout of the first quarter because the play clock was winding down. We'll keep this one here as we do expect it to not be a long timeout, but this is a program. Hubbard in his second year came from the Dallas area. His record is 1-13 and 0-8 in district, and a first-year head coach with a program that's been struggling, you couldn't put him in a much worse district to try to turn things around.
Out of all districts, really? This is where you want to be. No,
right.
Not really. But you know what? Whenever you're establishing a team, you have to establish the culture. You have to change things around, and it's a long process. It doesn't happen in 1 year or 2 years. It's really a long process, and so I think that the school district wants to give Coach Hubbard enough time so he can build a culture of a winning culture with the football program, and it's about changing the kids' lives, not just on the field but off the field too. And he's a good coach.
There is no doubt about that. He's just run into a buzzsaw of teams. They've played one game this season where they had a chance in Victoria, but everything else has been a rough go. Now, it is 2nd and 10 from the Ranger 31. 3 receivers, 1 to the left, 2 to the right. Kind of a broken eye. Oglesby wants to throw over the top, has a man and overthrows him, but that's Mason Pierce who goes out and stretches out at the goal line and comes up with an interception. An interception for Mason Pierce. It's his 2nd of the season and his 7th in the last 2 seasons. The junior with a nice play like a receiver to stretch out and make the play.
Well, you know, the receiver had inside position, and Oglesby just misread it. I mean, he just threw it over his back shoulder. And, of course, Pierce is right there covering him, and it's a nice pass and catch for the defender.
It was Zapata who ran past Pierce on that earlier play that the interference was called. Zapata, as you mentioned, kind of cut to the post, and the throw was just overthrown. So the Rangers will start 1st and 10 from their 20. Williams wants to throw it, throws it out to Woodard. Has one man to beat. Finally, Pursuit comes and catches him, but not until he gets out near the 30. Just short, now we'll say it's a first down at the 30-yard line. A nice pass and catch to the senior receiver.
That's such an effective play when you think about it. It's like a long handoff because you get it to your playmaker, Woodard, and he's out here on the edge. And that way he can go one-on-one with one defender, and you have the inside receiver going downfield and blocking for you. It's a really good-looking play.
Indeed. Playmakers all around for the Rangers right now. 4-0 on the season. East Central 0-4. 3 receivers to the left. One of them uncovered. Now out to the back. That is a backup receiver for the Rangers. It is Chris Rivera, one of the speedsters. The junior had 3 receivers blocking in front of him as he was in the backfield, and Levi Williams just overthrew him.
You know, yeah. If Rivera would have been able to catch that football, you already mentioned 3 blockers on 3 defenders, it would have been nothing but real estate to the end zone for him.
So the Rangers had to play the way they wanted. They just didn't execute it. Levi Williams, who has played remarkably this season, has too much energy tonight because that's the 3rd pass he's overthrown here in the first quarter. They'll give it to, well, they'll fake it to Franco. Now across the middle, it's Woodard. He gets hit as he catches it, but up the field, a nice gain of almost 28 yards to the 42-yard line of the Hornets. A nice pass and catch to the senior receiver from the junior quarterback.
When you have someone that is that talented, just give him the football. Woodard split out far to the left. He ran a post pattern. Nice pass by Williams this time. Hit him right in stride.
So the Rangers back to the line of scrimmage. Williams gives the handoff. It's Franco, beats one man, now breaks a tackle across the 30, across the 25 before he's dragged down on a nice run of almost 15 yards to the 24 by the junior running back Mark Franco, now nearing 200 yards on the season.
You know, that play was really set up by the 2 the offensive guard in the center, Alex Schaefer and Michael Hauser did a nice job of opening up a nice hole for Franco to run through.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Williams looks back to the sideline as the play clock nears 10 seconds. Changes something, then he barks it out to the offensive line. Everybody stays where they were. Williams takes the snap. He wants to throw it. No one's open, so he'll pull it down and run and gets to the line of scrimmage before they say forward momentum was stopped, even though the huddle kept going. On a quick whistle, give him a gain of a yard to the 23.
Well, he tried to hit that. Williams wanted to hit the inside receiver, and basically that time is defended very well. They went man-to-man on the receivers, not zone, and so they came up quickly. Williams had nowhere to go just to eat it.
On the short side of the field, kind of a bunch of players there. That was a tough look. Now 2 receivers, 1 to either side, but both in tight. They'll give it to Franco up the middle, a big hole he got, and there comes a flag. He'll get momentum up to about the 15, the 16 maybe, but I think it's coming back as they call it on the Rangers.
That's too bad because 72, Michael Hausler just did an outstanding job driving his men back 5 yards. It's almost like, we used to call them almost pancake blocks. It was almost an identical pancake block. But he did a marvelous job of pushing his man out that gave Franco all that real estate to run under.
So instead of 3rd and short, it's now 2nd and long as the ball is walked all the way back to the 34-yard line. And they need to get to the 14, so it is 2nd and 20 from the 34 for the Rangers.
Holding on the Rangers, 11 yards on the play.
Tight end to the right, 2 receivers, 1 either way. 2 backs in the backfield. They'll fake it to Franco. Cervantes to block. Williams rolling right, throws it. Tough catch for Hunter as he's diving out of bounds. No contact made. It's incomplete. A nice design play for a good gain, just the throw and catch weren't comparable.
Yeah, and if you're a Hornet fan, this is a big down and distance. You have the Rangers backed up to their own 35-yard line. If you hold them here, they may be just out of field goal range. So this might be a very big play for the Rangers. If they can just get it another 10 or 12 yards, they'll be in field goal range.
3rd and 20. The Rangers 0 for 1 on 3rd down so far tonight. The Hornets 0 for 3. So Williams surveys the field, has 3 receivers to his left. Looking for one of them, he's going to scramble. There's a big pile of people around him. Now he'll be sacked, clear back inside, or near midfield, I should say. So on 3rd and long, Williams unable to find anyone open as their defensive secondary does the job. And as the quarter comes to a close, the Rangers will have to punt when we come back. We'll take a timeout. The Rangers up 6-0 at the end of the first quarter. We're back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Experience the best seat in every ballpark with MLB Network Strike Zone. There it goes! Catch baseball's biggest moments from around the league live on one channel.
You gotta be kidding me!
See the clutch hits.
It's a goner!
Great grabs.
Unbelievable!
And walk-off winners.
Game winner!
All without changing the channel.
Let's go home!
Bring home MLB Network Strike Zone. Tuesday and Friday nights, commercial-free all season long.
Tom Brady, that's a mic drop.
This is football, and this is how it is. Let's just get right to it.
Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday.
Watch NFL Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 579. GVTC, just plain smart.
Again, it's 6-0 as we're back to Ranger Stadium. The Rangers lead the Hornets of East Central, but after the opening offensive play by the Rangers, a 54-yard touchdown pass from Williams to Rios, the extra point was mishandled. But as we come back to start the second quarter, the Rangers with 4th and forever have to punt from the Hornets' 41-yard line.
East Central has no one back.
Brance Anderson is the punter. We'll see if he can pin him inside the 20-yard line. Good-looking kick, might have too much distance. It'll land about the 10 if the Rangers get there, and it does slow down on the bounce. And they'll say it goes down at the 1. A great job of coverage there. Trey Witcher is the man who touched it. at the 1 yard line. My concern was it looked like he ran into the end zone and then came back. And I know those rules have been changed lately, but the Hornets will start from inside the 1 yard line.
We couldn't ask for a better punt. I mean, that last series for Smithson Valley didn't look typical Smithson Valley. They were misfiring. They weren't taking care of the football. They got sacked. It just wasn't traditional. But I tell you what, that punt looked very traditional with the special teams here for the Rangers.
Let's talk a minute about that. If the offensive lineman gets called twice, the offensive line got called twice for holding, is it because the defenders aren't where they're supposed to be, or are they just playing hard enough that you have to hold? What, are you mentally unstrong?
Unstrong. I think it really boils down to is just technique.
Yeah.
Work your technique. Do what you're supposed to do and what you've been coached to do, and just do it. It doesn't mean that the other player is that much better and you have to hold. Sometimes you do, but in this situation you didn't.
Play clock ran out again on East Central. Coming out of a change after a punt, the play clock ran out again. So half the distance to the goal would be they were an inch away from the goal. Now they're a half inch away from the goal. So anyway, from the goal line, Oglesby
Still 1st and 10.
As a receiver to the left, they'll give it to Lott up the middle. Has some room out to about the 5 before he's hit to the ground.
Frank Lott, the ball carrier, tackled by Trayvon Merrick-Woodard.
So Woodard comes up with another tackle, and Trayvon's tackle numbers have started to really grow as he's made a lot of plays in recent games. 11 tackles on the season, but 6 of them unassisted so far. That means he's been making some great plays, breaking down and getting a stop when necessary.
You typically don't want your safeties and corners, though, being the leader in tackles. That means that means the other team's getting back and making good plays.
So 2nd down and about 6 from the 5. Here's Oglesby keeping it himself on a designed run, but the defensive line and linebackers do a good enough job of slowing him down. They'll give him credit up to the 6. Brady Chubb got his foot stepped on or something. He's trying to shake it off, but a short gain makes it 3rd down and 5.
Well, right now you want to do that double barrel blitz that the Rangers typically do in this situation. They want to get maximum pressure on the quarterback. Both outside linebackers will come blitzing through. You usually do get pressure to see if they do it this down.
So 3rd and about 5 from the 6-yard line. Oglesby sends 2 receivers to the left. There's a slot back and a single tailback. He wants to throw to the left, has a man open, and he overthrows him. Pierce given quite a cushion there to the receiver, which is Adrian Zapata, their speedster. And it goes incomplete, and the Hornets will have to punt on 4th and 6, or 4th and 5, I should say.
Well, good job by the Ranger defense. They'll be able to get good field position right now, flipping the field position from the first quarter to now that starting in the second quarter. You couldn't ask for a better field position right here. They're probably going to get the ball around the 35.
Strelzik, the punter, Woodard deep. He's at the Hornet 36 right now, so they're not expecting a long punt. Strelzik, this one's high but doesn't go very far. Woodard will fair catch it at the 35 with Hornets all around him, and the Rangers will start out from great field position at the Hornets 35, 1st and 10 to go with 10:18 left in the second quarter, and the Rangers leading it 6-0.
All right, second quarter, first offensive series in the second quarter. You're ahead 6-0. You have great field position at the 35. This is where, if you're on an offensive team like the Rangers on offense right now, you want to make a statement in the game. Go in, score, get 7 points on the board, and start taking control of the football game. Because right now it's still a toss-up. No one's really doing a whole lot.
Let's start imposing our will, I think is what
you said it better than I would.
Larry Hill would say. Here's a handoff. This is another tailback that we haven't seen very much this year, Greg Eggleston. And he'll get a couple of yards inside the 35 up to the 31. A gain of about 3 brings up 2nd and 7 before he's wiggled down to the ground by a couple of Hornet defenders.
2nd and 7 from the 31.
Pretty nice block that time by 74 John Bauer and Jesse Clinton, 76, the offensive left guard and tackle. Nice job.
So Eggleston is in at tailback. Now a tight formation with a tight end either way. Woodard in motion. He'll give it on a jet sweep coming left, short side of the field, tiptoes inside, then wiggles away, breaks it to a tackle, and now finally brought down, but not until he gets a first down near the 20-yard line. No one but Trayvon Merrick Woodard can do that, but he gets to the sideline and his feet are just so nifty. He avoids tacklers on the sideline all at once and gets a nice gain for a first down.
I think that's the Ranger trademark offensive play, that jet sweep. And they give it to someone like Ricky Rios or Woodard. By the time they get the ball, they're already at almost full speed running. So it's a very effective play.
2 receivers right, 2 setbacks either side of Williams. Here's a handoff coming this way. It looks like this is Franco, who breaks a tackle and stays in bounds, gets a couple of yards up to about the 16, so a gain of 3 brings up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy 3 yards either. He had to bounce off of 2 or 3 tacklers, but the sign of a good running back is always not what you do when you don't get tackled, but after you make contact with a defender, what do you do after that? And that time, Franco did a nice job picking up 3 yards when he had nothing.
So Eggleston back at tailback now with 2 receivers broke to the right. Hunter's a slot on the right side. They'll run up the middle. It is Eggleston. Wiggles away from one, then gets hit and spins away. He's got the ball inside the 10 before he's wrestled to the ground. Jonathan Acosta, the Sam linebacker, in there to put the biggest hit on him. But Eggleston looked really shifty that time. His first down gets him inside the 10.
Nice down block by Michael Heiser, the right guard, and Ronald Copney, the right tackle. They basically caved down the left side of the defensive front line, and there was nothing but an open path for the ball carrier.
Now the jet sweep is Mason Pierce, who has a couple of touchdowns doing this and hits the pylon, I think he's in for a touchdown, and he is. And the Rangers are on the board again.
Jet sweep into the short side of the field, and that time it was all speed and execution, and the young man doing it on his own.
Mason Pierce has 2 touchdown rushes coming in on 6 carries. On his 7th carry of the season, he gets his 3rd touchdown, an 8-yard run over the left side, and the Rangers up 12-0 with the extra point to come. Mason Reed kicks it up, and it is through the uprights. The Rangers are on top, 13-0. Their first drive of the second quarter is good enough for a touchdown. You're listening to Ranger Football on the Ranger Network.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh, so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
So the Rangers go up 13-0, 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
We couldn't have drawn up a better situation with a short field starting the second quarter. Get your offense back out on the field and going for the touchdown for 7 points. Kind of take control of the game again. You know, right, the whole first quarter, you didn't know who had control of the game.
5 plays, 35 yards. The drive took 2 minutes and 18 seconds for the Rangers, who again lead at 13-0. Reed will kick off, going right to left. 2 backs deep. This one, high arching kick, will hit the ground at the 15, fielded by Davis. He'll come to the right but not get very far before kick coverage will pin him in just across the 15 at the 17, and that's where the Hornets will start 1st and 10. Ranger kick coverage again doing a great job this season. A bunch of players in on the play, including number 47, that's Jarrett Zillman, as he's been in on a lot of defense in the last couple of games, and Ethan Sill, a defensive back.
Excellent execution on the kickoff team. No one getting out of their lanes and going down and breaking down before the ball carrier gets to them, and you had 4 or 5 Rangers on the tackle.
So the Hornets start with a back either side. It is Oglesby who wants to run up the middle, and he's bumped down just across the 20, falls ahead near the 25. A nice gain of about 6 yards to the 24, brings up 2nd down and 4.
They went into that 11 personnel, and it's just basically an option play where Oglesby takes the football if he sees an opening, goes right off his offensive left guard and gets enough for, well, 7 yards on that game.
So a good-looking run by Oglesby, who came into the game with 35 yards on 15 carries, about 2.5 yards a carry. So a running back either way, he'll keep it again. This time he breaks a tackle and squirts outside off left tackle before Brady Chubb comes up and wrestles him down, but not until he gets a first down out to the 31. It's 1st and 10 for the Hornets.
Well, that's just a good hard run by Oglesby, 6 feet, 205-pound sophomore, but he looks a lot bigger like that in person, does he not?
He does. And let's just focus on it as we near the midway point of the second quarter. A couple of things that they felt they've done well offensively is some quick passes to receivers who are relatively uncovered, and now he's run a couple of times with some energy behind it.
You're seeing a little bit of rhythm. They're getting a rhythm on offense.
So 1st and 10 from the Hornet 31. He wants to throw it wide and overthrows it again. So something we've noticed tonight, both quarterbacks maybe almost too keyed up, although we're far enough into the game that shouldn't matter. This is the second time in as many passes that Oglesby has thrown it over the top of his receiver.
Well, give credit this time to number 40, C.J. Keeler. He put the pressure on Oglesby that time where he had to throw it a little high, and this time it was way high. But he had a lot of pressure from Keeler getting in the backfield.
So the Rangers set up for 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers for the Hornets go to the left, 1 to the right. There are 2 backs in the backfield, kind of a broken eye. Oglesby wants to run, has a block. It is Keeler that gets in there and grabs his jersey and kind of wrestles him down as more Rangers come in to clean it up. It'll be a loss of 2 back to the 29. It's 3rd down and 12.
Well, that time Keeler went in the backfield free because the outside linebacker, Cullen Munchberger, came in on a blitz, so the offensive tackle had to pick up the blitzing linebacker, and it left Keeler wide open.
So the situation is 3rd and 12 for the Hornets. 2 receivers break left, 1 to the right. Again, the broken eye alongside of Oglesby. He turned a handoff. The fake was to someone who wasn't there. The ball is completed out to the edge on a nice catch by Jordan Perry, number 3, but it is just a short gain, only a couple of yards, and that brings up 4th and a long 9.
Yeah. Well, the Ranger defense rises to the occasion again, and now that's a punting situation. They'll get decent field position. Of course, with Woodard receiving the punt, he's going to give you really good field position, I believe.
Woodard is back at his own 38. Strelzik again, the punter, kind of takes it and takes a couple of steps. Now he's going to fake it. He's coming and he's got some room. If he can get to the 40, it's a first down, and he gets across the 40 to the 43 before he's wrestled out of bounds. Nice help came over from Eggleston, but Strelzik saw a wide open right side of the field and does the fake for a first down.
You know, is that really well executed that time on the fake punt, and you have your leading rusher, Blaise Strelzik, as the punter, and he's the one with the ball under his arm. Yeah, that's a good-looking play.
He'll get up to his own 43-yard line where the Hornets, with 5:10 to go in the quarter, have it 1st and 10. So they come out, 2 receivers to the right. And there's a timeout as the play clock's going to go down again. So another timeout by the Hornets. It's a 13-0 lead for the Rangers in what's been kind of an ugly first half so far. 5:06 left. We're back with more after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
I'm Jaime Buentello, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously.
This time the Hornets come back in a hurry as we're back to action at Ranger Stadium. 13-0 Rangers on top of the Hornets of East Central. East Central with a 1st and 10 from their own 43. Oglesby, the quarterback, takes the stop. A 3-step drop, has a man down the field. It's tipped and then incomplete. Looked like that was Johnson that got a hand on it first, intended for Zapata, who's all of a sudden become their most popular receiver because he's probably the fastest. But the ball falls incomplete, and it's 2nd down and 10.
That was a little strange. You had two wide receivers doing the same pattern, one in between the other. I think the ball was going to Zapata, but Pierce actually stuck his hand out and tapped it away.
So 2 receivers to the right. Hand off to Lott. He's got a couple of yards across the 45 to the 47. It'll be a gain of 4 before he's wrestled down by Zuber. So it'll be 3rd down and about 6.
Not a favorable down and distance that we've seen so far by the Hornets. And offensively, this is a tough call.
I would agree with you there. They're 0 for 5 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and about 5 from the 47, their own 47. Oglesby fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, has to break 1 tackle and can't as he squirms up to about the 50, maybe the Ranger 49. Zuber had him and wouldn't let him go, and it'll be 4th and about 3 from the Ranger 49.
Would you think they'd try to fake punt it, but they've already done that this quarter, so you can't do it again. This would be prime real estate, though, that right on the 50-yard line you'd want to do a fake punt. But
and let me just, will the Ranger defense be ready for it this time?
Yeah. The element of surprise just might not be there.
They've got nobody blocking on the left side of the offense, and they're going to throw a fake, and it is almost caught. Is it caught? Did he hang on to it? No. It goes incomplete. Intended for their tight end, Tanner McKay. The Hornets really rolling the dice in this one, and I don't know that I blame him because he had a chance to catch it with a defender on him.
You know, and take my last comment back, obviously. It was a pretty good pass.
It was.
But McKay just wasn't able to haul it in for the big catch.
Strelzik has proven that he is probably their most important offensive player because he's done more for sure tonight. So Williams comes out with a receiver either way. The Rangers 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Williams wants to throw out to the edge. It's Rios and makes a nice catch and then tries to get past the defender but can't. So the catch will be about 8 yards. A nice stop on the play by the cornerback Evian Thompson, the junior at 5'10 and 180. But the gain of 8 makes it 2nd and 2.
I think that should be automatic. If you have Ricky Rios one-on-one with the corner, I think that's a pretty good play just to get the football and try to get him a pass. You know, just get his hands on the ball.
Rios to the right, Woodard to the left. They'll fake Woodard in motion, and Franco takes it right up the middle. Gets a 1st down and then some, up to the 36 before he smashes into the safety. The gain by Franco will be enough for a 1st down at the 36-yard line. The safety, Alan Dukes, kind of feeling that one right now.
You know, the Hornets traditionally are in a 34 defense, but tonight they're in an even front 4-man defense.
Williams wants to throw, has a man down the right sideline. It is Woodard who turns and makes a beautiful catch using his body to block off the defensive back, Pena. And it's a touchdown from Williams to Woodard that covers 36 yards. And the Rangers are up 19 with the extra point to come.
You nailed it. Nice pass to the back shoulder of Woodard, who adjusted his route, turned his body, contorted a little bit. Nice pass, nice catch. 2 yards, 2-yard run into the end zone. Just a beautiful looking play.
Mason Reed will come on for the extra point with 2:37 to go in the first half. Snap is good, the hold is down, the kick looks good, and it's through the uprights, and the Rangers go up 20-0 on the Hornets of East Central as we've got just a minute, 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll take a timeout on the Ranger Network with the Rangers up 20-0.
MLB Tonight brings you closer to the pennant chase.
Devastating slider. A leaping grab. That's number 3.
Closer to the epic moments.
That ball is cashed out to center. And a dive and a catch
closer to the critical plays.
Now you can use your hands more.
Now I go into a fine focus. Boom.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, bringing you closer to the pennant chase.
This is it.
On MLB Network, home of 2 American League Division Series games.
Davis and Rosemont are back for the Hornets as we're back to Rangers Stadium. The Rangers lead at 20-0. We've got 2:37 to go here in the first half as the Rangers have scored on their last 2 possessions. They scored on their first possession of the game and then had a couple of them that didn't result in touchdowns, and now they have. The kick by Reed is short, fielded by an up man who brings it up the right side, up the hash, gets hit about the 30, and that's as far as he'll go. We'll see who it was. Someone who doesn't normally return kicks. It is Neal, who we've seen as a receiver tonight. He'll get out to about the 30 where the Hornets will start 1st and 10. Kick coverage not too bad on a short kickoff.
Yeah, it's a short kickoff. Sometimes it's hard as going down on the kickoff to be able to adjust to that. Number 50, Jordan Johnson, is a backup linebacker. He did a nice job, though, making the tackle on that play.
So the Ranger defense, with 2.5 minutes to go, needs a big stop here as they lead at 20-0. Play clock, plenty of time to go as the Hornets are out in their offensive set. 2 receivers left. Oglesby keeps it after a fake of a handoff, and that's another Ranger in the backfield ready to wrap him up. Is it?
Looks like Zillman, isn't it?
Zillman now, so it's not Zuber who's been there a bunch.
Zillman, nice play, just working off the block, scraping in and making a nice stop for a loss of 1 yard on the play.
Zillman, a backup defensive end, as there's a timeout on the field. Did the Rangers call this one? I know it's not the 2-minute warning because we're in high school.
I guess they did.
Well, I don't think they have any timeout, so it has to be a Ranger timeout.
Yeah.
We'll take it with them as the Rangers lead at 20-0 here on the Ranger Network.
Tom Brady, that's a mic drop.
This is football, and this is how it is. Let's just get right to it.
Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday.
Watch NFL Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 579. GVTC, just plain smart.
Time left, yeah.
So we're back to Ranger Stadium. It's 2nd and long. Oglesby wants to keep it. He'll get maybe a yard, maybe 2 as he crosses the 30-yard line, and the Rangers are going to use another timeout, maybe trying to get another possession here in the first half.
Yep.
As we'll keep it here on this one. Keeler in on the tackle of Oglesby, who gets up to about the 31. It'll be 3rd down and 9 after this timeout, but Jeff, this is, you kind of figure you just scored. In fact, you scored on your last 2 possessions. Larry Hill wanting to put an end to this, any discussion of this still being a game and trying to get another possession here.
I think that's a strategy, obviously. He's going to have enough time to put together something on offense because, you know, when you think about it, you always want to eliminate the big explosive plays, but that's kind of the forte of the Ranger offense. And they like to move the ball down methodically, yes, but they've got such big playmakers. They can throw it 30 yards down the field and score on it. That's what you do once you had the football after. And, you know, I guarantee you that's what Coach Hill is thinking about at this time. You know, I did want to comment on Keeler, that last play. The offensive tackle, Martinez, had a hold of his jersey. It was holding big time. Even I saw it up here. And he still went and made the tackle.
So on 3rd and long, with 2:18 to go in the half, Oglesby sends 2 receivers right and 1 to the left, has a lone setback beside him as he surveys the defense. Play clock at 15 as he takes the snap, goes back, wants to throw back to the guy in the backfield, and after avoiding 1 tackler, gets stood up near the sideline. And we'll see if the ball stayed in bounds, so I don't know if the Rangers will call another timeout, as the play clock would go to about 1:20 on 4th down. We'll see how quick everything happens. The Hornet punt team comes on. The punt receiving team comes on for the Rangers. Play clock at 15, a minute 45 to go. Coach Hill will keep one timeout in his pocket, as the defense is quite aware of the potential of a fake.
No, they did have one more timeout left, I guess.
Well, the Hornets just called a time. Well, they've called 3, though.
And see, the back judge is now telling the referee, no, you can't do that. He's already used up all of his timeouts.
He's used his 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
So a flag comes out. We'll see.
He'll be penalized.
Yeah, they're saying he doesn't have any timeouts.
Delay game penalty on the Hornets, 5 yards.
But he got a timeout anyway. He got his team over there huddled and had a conversation. Why is the clock still running? Now, that doesn't make any sense that there's a penalty. Now, the clock needs to go back to at least a minute 32.
Well, the referee's now, I think that's what he's trying to do.
I'm not real sure. Did the referee start the clock? Because
he shouldn't have. The play clock, yes.
Right, but not the game clock,
yeah, game
yes.
Clock, exactly. This is when you need the referee needs a mic.
Yes.
On him, so he can communicate with the press box up here.
132 is what it was, and that's where we're back. So the punt will come off at 132. Woodard is deep at his own 40. Strelzik has averaged right around 30 yards per punt, and he'll go back in punt formation. Like they have all day long, they send someone in motion. Strelzik will kick it this time. Not a good kick at all, almost straight up. It'll angle out of bounds. It gets a great bounce on the sideline and goes out of bounds somewhere near the 35-yard line of the Rangers. They'll mark it at the 32, and with a minute 24 to go in the half, that's where the Rangers will have the ball.
37 yards on the punt.
And I'm guessing
For the Rangers.
Larry Hill expected to get better field position than that.
Yeah, even with the penalty, it was a decent kick because he got a nice Hornet roll on it.
Well, it wasn't a good kick, but it did get a good roll.
Exactly, exactly. Well, they're still going to go for it. I mean, you put another 7 points on the board here at the end of the first half. Kind of put the lasting statement on, because the Rangers do get the football first to start the second half.
That is correct. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Williams, straight drop back, short drop. Has a man open, doesn't throw it, pulls it down, wants to run, gets tackled right short of the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 11. They'll have to huddle up in a hurry as the game clock goes to a minute 10.
That was pretty much a secondary sack that time. He
had Hunter open. Yeah, he had Hunter open near the 40-yard line. Now he wants to throw it out wide. It's the tailback, Franco. He'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Hunter out in front blocking for him. A gain of about 8 up to the 40-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 with the clock stopped, 59 seconds to go.
I'm not sure of the distance of the field goal kicker. Do you know, Tony? Because maybe they're trying to get just in position to kick a field goal.
Yeah, about 40 yards, so they'd have to get inside the 25 to have any chance, and the wind seems to be blowing against them right now.
I don't know what the discussion's about.
So the clock is stopped with 59 seconds to go. They start the play clock. Rangers are up to the line in a hurry. Williams has 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Franco, the tailback, behind him. He looks, has a man open, throws it late. It is knocked away as Rios, the intended receiver. The defensive back looked to be Efren Dominguez, one of the backups.
Yeah.
But he got a hand on it there, and it's 4th down, and the Rangers will have to punt with 54 seconds to go. So the try to make something happen doesn't work. We'll see now if they might want to fake one here with 54 seconds to go. Brance Anderson, the punter.
I wouldn't think so. They're just trying to control this game at this point. Get in the locker room for halftime.
Anderson's kick is a low end-over-end kick that hits inside the 40 but has a great Hornet bounce. Finally stopped at the 42 And with 46 seconds to go, hopefully this half will end.
Well, both teams have just been swapping back and forth field position, and you know the Rangers have those big explosive plays. That's why they're up on the scoreboard. But East Central, they've had the opportunities with some decent field position to do something with it, to see if they can do something here at the end of this first half.
Not real sure what kind of chances they'll take, but they come out to run offense. Oglesby, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Straight drop back, wants to throw it wide to the left. Reed, it is Ricky Pierce that comes up, Mason Pierce, pardon me, and tips the ball to himself and comes up with an interception. Mason Pierce, his second interception of the night, and the Rangers all of a sudden with 41 seconds to go have the ball again now in Hornet territory at the 40-yard line.
Well, East Central tried to run that same little quick hitch to the inside slot receiver. This time, though, Pierce knew that they were going to do it. He made a great break on the ball, tipped it up in the air, and then caught the tip by himself in midair. Good looking.
So we'll try this again. We did it with about a minute something to go. Now with 41 seconds, we're 20 yards further up the field. 1st and 10 from the 40 of the Hornets. 2 receivers either side now. Franco, the lone setback behind Williams. Williams drops straight back, throws it long, left side, has a man. It is Pierce, and it's a touchdown. Mason Pierce catches, after he gets the interception, catches the touchdown pass. For him, it is his first touchdown reception of the season. He has 3 of them carrying the ball, but this one is via the air, and the Rangers lead at 26-0.
Just a beautiful, beautiful play. It was a fly route by Pierce down the short side of the field. Nice pass by Williams over his outside shoulder. It was just perfectly executed. And it all started with the front lineman doing a nice job because Williams had a lot of time to set his feet and throw the football.
Mason Reed's extra point try hits the upright and goes awry. It is no good, so it remains 26-0. The Rangers lead it with 34 seconds to go, and I'm telling you right now, the last 2 minutes of this half, 2 minutes and 28 seconds, has now taken 12 minutes, and that's not fair.
That's not fair. And we've had 3 different position changes. In other words, just going back and forth each team.
Goodness.
Not fair.
Rangers lead at 26-0. Sometimes someone would say that's not fair.
Yeah.
But with 34 seconds to go now, as that drive was a long one. 1 play, 40 yards, 6 seconds.
Back to return, number 37, Damon Davis. 39, D'Angelo Rosemont.
Davis and Rosemont go back to receive the kickoff of Mason Reed.
Get your guns up high.
Reed's kick. High, angles left. It is, trying to see it from the horns. It is Rosemont who breaks some tackles. He's got out of the crowd. He's near midfield, has 1 man to beat, gets past him. He runs the sideline. There's a flag comes in late. He'll go into the end zone. But I believe there will be a block that is not allowed, and the flag will stop the kickoff return for a touchdown by D'Angelo Rosemont.
Rosemont, that was all on him because he had several Rangers try to arm tackle him back there at the 25 and 28-yard line, and he just broke through all of the arm tackles and got to the side of the near side of the field before he ran down into the end zone.
So the kickoff return for a touchdown is not allowed. The flag thrown near the 27-yard line, and another flag at the 43 I see now. So a couple of blocks were not of the legal variety.
You know, there's always a rule when you're on kickoff team. If the ball carrier is in front of you, you don't need to block. You really don't need to block because the chances of you blocking the back or holding or doing something illegal is greater than if you're in front of the running back. And they always teach you don't block behind the ball.
And here's what I'm going to tell you. Every coach says that, and it still happens all the time.
It happens every time. Yeah, exactly.
You know, those flags were after Rosemont was already passed. So Oglesby will have offense from his own 47. He'll keep this one. Has some room up the middle before he's chased down from behind. Give him a gain of about 5 as the clock will roll out. And that will be the last play of the half because I don't think they'll be able to huddle up quick enough. We do count it down to 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of the half. The Rangers lead it 26-0. Halftime is coming up, so we hope you stay with us here on the Ranger Network.
So this is it, huh?
Yep, this is where it all starts and finishes.
Joe Pavelec, Jeff Shin, Alan Hill, Pat Bailey, Matt Hilson, Clint Haney, Cody Fuller, Eric Anders, Garrett Smith, Andrew Sandejo, Josh Adkins could have dressed in this locker.
We got work to do, kid.
We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna get him on the run, we're gonna keep him on the run, then we're gonna go, 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 go. We won't stop until we're across that goal line. This is a team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. So what do you say, man?
Let me give it a try. Making videos is not easy. It's confusing and it's hard work. Well, I'm here to tell you, when your back's against the wall, call Wick Productions. It's who we use for game night scoreboard production and the Rangers Network.
Amazing, Coach. Another perfectly executed shameless plug.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything. Just came here to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
You want to see something big? Maybe some drama. You looking for thrills? You want to see something epic? Nah, Travis. Really epic. You want a showdown? How about some action? Then we'll see you for Primetime's #1 show.
Sunday night is football night.
Only on NBC.
Cut!
Get closer to the action like never before with NASCAR Race Hub on FS1. At the track.
Looks like Superman won.
In the shop.
Catching up with Joey Logano.
On the headsets and behind the scenes.
Every night, the place to be.
All season long.
Hear the story from the drivers who lived it.
That's how tough the track was to drive.
And get the ultimate setup from the legends of the sport.
You can't script it. There's certain things out of your control.
NASCAR Race Hub. All season long on FS1.
In college football, you don't have the luxury of looking ahead. Every Saturday's a different way of destroying your season. They'll make the ground shake. They'll make your eyes burn. They'll show you hate and disrespect unlike anything you've ever seen. Don't think about January when there's a Wolverine coming for your face in September. The biggest game, the only game, is the one you're playing.
Hey guys, Tyler Florence here. This season, the Great Food Truck Race is headed way down south. 7 teams navigating culinary roadblocks in a race to victory. Are you ready to roll?
I'm ready. Are you ready? I don't think they're ready.
Wow.
All new, Sunday night at 9, the Great Food Truck Race on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 563. GVTC, just plain smart.
We're back to Ranger Stadium as the Rangers lead at 26-0. We're at the half. The East Central Band on the field right now. We'll be sure to bring you the Ranger Band when they get out there. The Rangers, some scoring drives in the second half. They end up with 20 points of their 26 in the second quarter, let's see. First downs, 10-4 in favor of the Rangers. Neither team has converted a third down so far. That's a little surprising. The Rangers with 70 yards rushing to 50 of East Central, but the difference really 196 yards passing by Levi Williams and just 33 yards passing by the Hornets. Look at official numbers. Levi Williams, 8 of 13, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's been sacked twice. Oglesby, 6 of 12 for 33 yards and 1 interception. Actually, should be 2 interceptions now. We'll check on that in a little bit. Yeah. Rushing-wise, the leading rusher for the Rangers is Franco, 5 carries, 37 yards. Oglesby, their leading rusher, at 9 carries and 27 yards. Again, it's 26-0. We're at the half. The Rangers, well, we talked about this off air a little bit, Jeff, but too many times you have a big win like the Rangers did against Steele last week, beating a nemesis of yours, a program you haven't beaten in 3 previous tries. Now on the 4th try, you get them. It's a big game. It's an emotional win. It is something you haven't done recently because now you're 1-0 in district where you've been 0-1 in district, and then East Central comes to town for homecoming. And the Hornets are a program that you demolished a year ago at their place, and they haven't done anything to make you think anything that they're any better, and yet you still have to play the game.
Well, what you're talking about, Tony, is there going to be a letdown? And sometimes, I know the stands here, the fans in the stands may think that this is a letdown, but it's actually just as hard to get up to play this game as it is to get up and play for someone like a Steele or a Judson. And the reason why I mean that is because you are so heavily favored in coming into this ball game, and the athleticism should be more in your favor if you're a Ranger as well. But you know, football, like any sports, played between the ears. It's all in your mind. And I tell you, if you think that way, you may get surprised. Or some of those kind of those watch-out games that you talk about, that games you go in and you're overconfident and you end up losing those games. You just can't have that in this district or in this league. So this is a tough game to get up with. Now, I know Coach Hill, he's big on keeping the process of the routine every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, leading up to the game time. They do the same thing every day. Their Tuesdays are Tuesday. Their Wednesdays are Wednesday routine, whether they win or lose. And I think that's important too. And so it's a matter of the kids responding. And part of that's the team leadership on this team. And, you know, you've got kids like Williams and others on the Ranger football team that are leaders. And you know what? They'll go in there in halftime and say, guys, we don't look like who we typically are. Just go out there and just execute the second half.
And it is 26-0, so let me not act like they haven't played hard.
No.
And they've played well. They just haven't played as well as we're used to seeing them in the 2017 season. And I say that is when we talk about the locker room, and what Larry Hill is talking about is execution, execution, execution. Be sharp.
Right.
And he's saying that so these starters can play 1 or 2 series and then be done for the game, and the other guys come in and play and get the kind of reps you want your backups to get in case they become a starter later on in the season because of injury or illness.
This game was set up just like what you just mentioned, Tony. In other words, you played Steele last week. You come in this week, play a half with your starters, and then play some of your substitutes or your backups the second half. They can still do that, but I think the execution part is what we've seen a lack thereof up here in the press box. But other than that, a win is a win. Sometimes an ugly win is better than a good-looking loss.
No doubt about that. We're going to take another timeout on the Ranger Network. When we come back, we'll have senior moments. So stick with us on the Ranger Network.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Brant. So I'm here today with Mike, Lathan, John, and Patrick. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. So, you know, you've seen the show a few times, I'm sure. What I'd like you to do real quick before we get started is give thanks to the woman who got you here in one piece this morning. Get your phones out. Text your mama hi and tell her you love her. So, Lathan, can you tell me what is it that you think that Miss Piggy sees in Kermit?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it's the green.
Yeah?
I think she's attracted to green.
Think she's attracted to green?
Yeah.
Do you think that secretly Kermit actually likes Miss Piggy?
I think at times, yes.
Maybe
really
so. Do you think it's all that karate chopping she does to him that she's finally worn him out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She broke him down, yeah.
She broke him down. So, Mike, if you were going to a job interview, what do you think is the most important thing? A brilliant personality, smart, experience, or being a snappy dresser?
Probably just being smart.
Being smart?
Yes, ma'am. Because like if you're smart, then they'll like know that you'll make good decisions. You'll be a good worker for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do to show someone how intelligent you were?
That's hard to say. I would probably, I don't know. That's hard to say. It's too close to me.
So, Mike, have you gone on a job interview yet?
I've not really. My job was just like, you want the job? And then we're like, yeah. Like, okay, you got it.
So you haven't actually had experience with that yet?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. I couldn't tell. I And I think you're doing a great job. Patrick, do you have a favorite song?
Favorite song? No, I like a lot of songs. I mean, I also range in varieties of like genres and stuff I like.
Okay.
Music.
What genres are your favorite?
My favorite genres, it depends on my mood, honestly.
Yeah.
And lately, I always used to hate country music, but now lately I've been into.
What songs kind of got you turned around?
Probably like older country songs.
Yeah?
Yep, I just hear people kind of like singing it, like anytime, of course, I brought up the song, or the town Lukenbach, people would like start singing the song, and it's just like, oh, I gotta hear the song. I heard it.
Yeah? Well, I know how that song goes. Do you guys?
Nope.
Patrick, why don't you share? Can you sing a little bit of Lukenbach?
We need help. I don't know if I can sing.
Just try it. I bet you can do a better job than you think you can.
Ready? Yeah.
All right. Do you want to pick a different song? Patrick, who have you ever given the best gift to, and what was it?
The best gift I've ever given would be a jacket to my dad, and it was because my dad has given me a lot in my life, so I thought, I should really pay him back, and I went out and I spent all my money I'd saved on a jacket for him.
You know, I was out the other day and someone threw a bottle of omega-3 fish oil at me. Luckily, my injuries were super fish oil. Right? Right? It's good.
Oh, I got a joke.
Yeah?
Yep. What do you call an alligator in a vest?
I don't know. What can you call an alligator in a vest? Alligator in a vest.
Investigator.
That's pretty good. So, John, is there anything really that's happened to you that's been really lucky?
Really lucky?
Really lucky.
Coming to school?
Coming to the school. That's a good one. When did you get here?
Right on the border of going to this school and another school.
Yeah, well, very good. I'm glad that you're a Ranger.
Yeah,
very
I am
cool.
too.
Very cool. So John, do you have a joke for me?
Sure.
Okay.
Why did the chicken get to the other side?
Why did the chicken need to get to the other side?
To get to the other side.
Well, that makes sense. All right, guys, thanks for being here with me today. It's been a lot of fun. Coach Brandt, back to you.
Go Rangers!
So this is it, huh?
Yep, this is where it all starts and finishes.
Joe Pavelek, Jeff Shin, Alan Hill, Pat Bailey, Matt Hilson, Clint Haney, Cody Fuller, Eric Anders, Garrett Smith, Andrew Sandejo, Josh Adkins could have dressed in the soccer.
We got work to do, kid.
We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna get him on the run, we're gonna keep him on the run, then we're gonna go, 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 go. We won't stop until we're across that goal line. This is a team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. So what do you say, men?
Let me give it a try. Making videos is not easy. It's confusing and it's hard work. Well, I'm here to tell you, when your back's against the wall, call Wick Productions. It's who we use for game night scoreboard production and the Rangers Network.
Amazing, Coach. Another perfectly executed shameless plug.
It's homecoming at Smithson Valley, so we'll turn it over to the ceremonies on the field.
Duke, Tristan Ortiz. Tristan is being escorted by his parents, Paul and Cindy Ortiz. Duke, Elijah Soto. Elijah is being escorted by his parents, Chris and Jennifer Soto. Duchess, Brooke Carlson. Brooke is escorted this evening by her parents, Chris and Missy Carlson. Duchess, Nicole Morin. Nicole is escorted by her parents, Charles and Tammy Morin, and sister, Caitlin Morin. Duchess, Sarah Thorpe. Sarah is escorted this evening by her parents, Damon and Susan Thorpe. And Duchess Carmen White. Carmen is being escorted by her parents, Carlton and Erica White. The sophomore class is represented by the following. Duke, Aiden Carlson. Aiden is escorted this evening by his mother, Marina Cruz Ramirez. Duke, Chandler Cole. Chandler is escorted this evening by his parents, Chris and Lori Cole. Duke, Matt Franco. Matt is escorted this evening by his parents, Mark and Jill Franco. Duke, Jake May. Jake is being escorted by his parents, Jeff and Tiffany May. Duchess, Isis Avance. Isis is being escorted by her parents, by her mother, Aruna Avance. Duchess, Haley Cadena. Haley is being escorted this evening by her parents, Pat and Jenna Cadena. Duchess, Avery Rogers. Avery is escorted by parents, Sean and Brandy Rogers. Duchess, Madison Suarez. Madison is escorted by her parents, Ronnie Suarez and Bernadette Galati. Our junior class is represented by the following students. Duke, Chase Carson. Chase is escorted this evening by his parents, Tamara and Carl Carson. Duke, Aaron Cruz. Aaron is escorted by his parents, Carlos and Jamie Cruz. Duke, Hudson Murphy. Hudson is being escorted by his father, Mike Murphy. Duke, Levi Williams. Levi, our Ranger quarterback, is represented on the field this evening by his parents, Todd and Sherry Williams. Duchess, Kayla Cassidy. Kayla is escorted by her parents, Christy Cassidy and Jerry Navarro. Duchess, Maddie Forbes. Maddie is being escorted by her parents, Jeff and Rhonda Forbes. Duchess, Jessie Pope. Jessie is escorted this evening by her parents, Jerry and Julie Pope. Duchess, Haley Rivers. Haley is escorted this evening by her parents, Mike and Kelly Rivers. And now for the senior class of 2018, which is represented by the following. Duke, Brady Chubb. Brady is also a member of Ranger football and is being represented on the field by his parents, Brian and Lori Chubb. Duke, Ryan Hill. Ryan is another member of our varsity squad and is represented on the field by his parents, Chris Hill and Anna Stevens. Duke, CJ Keeler. CJ also plays football for SVHS and is represented this evening by his parents, Stephen Keeler and Kelly Ross. Duke, Bobby Palamine. Bobby, like all the other senior Dukes, is also in the field house, so he is represented this evening by his parents, Robert and Olga Palamine. Duchess, Maddie Carlson. Maddie is escorted this evening by her father, Greg Carlson. Duchess, Mackie Foley. Mackie is escorted by her parents, Terry and Brenda Foley. Duchess, Corey Navarro. She is being escorted this evening by her parents, William and Lori Navarro. And Duchess, Maria Rocha. Maria is being escorted tonight by her father, Mario Rocha, and brother, Michael Rocha. After selecting the initial court, each class voted to bestow additional honors on a select few individuals. And now for the crowning of Smithson Valley's 2017 Homecoming Court royalty. For Prince and Princess of the freshman class, the winners are Prince Jalen Nutt and Princess Carmen White. For Prince and Princess of the sophomore class, the winners are Prince Matt Franco and Princess Madison Suarez. For Prince and Princess of the junior class, the winners are Prince, Aaron Cruz, and Princess, Maddie Ford. For Prince and Princess of the senior class, the winners are Prince, CJ Keeler, and Princess, Mackie Foley. And finally, Smithson Valley's 2017 Homecoming King and Queen, chosen by their peers to represent them, are King Bobby Palomine and Queen Maria Rocha. We would like to thank our principal, Mr. Michael Wall, the Smithson Valley Student Council, and the JROTC for dedicating their time and energy to help with homecoming this year. We wish everyone a safe drive home after the game and hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And if you're a current student, we hope to see you at the homecoming dance tomorrow night at 7. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh, so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
Whether you're out at the beach or chilling poolside, the summer heat is here and Music Choice is turning it up. Chill out with the latest music from your favorite kids artists and more. Your music lives here on Music Choice.
Hey guys, it's Sophia Carson here. Check out all of my music videos available on Music Choice On Demand. Available on GVTC. Just go to Free On Demand and select Music Choice.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
Uh-oh. Sorry?
Watch FX, GVTC, Digital Cable Channel 527. GVTC, just plain smart.
Just press enter and your GVTC home DVR will record your show automatically.
Thanks, Doug from GVTC, who looks exactly like Ranger Senior CJ Keeler.
I'm just Doug, here to help.
Fumble!
Here you go. Can I help you set up your favorite channel list now?
And we're back to Ranger Stadium as we're getting ready for the kickoff of the second half. Again, a great 2017 homecoming awarding of all those kids, I guess, is the best thing I can say, because
it's the king and queen.
Yeah, well, yes, it's the king and queen, but there's about 500 others that got their names read, so it's a good thing.
That's their court, all 500 of them.
Yes, they do.
It's fun.
It is quite a court. So the Rangers lead at 26-0 here at the break, and if for a little better execution, it could be even more, but we'll settle with 26 and see what we can do in the second half. The Rangers will receive the second half kickoff, And in just a few moments, we'll be ready with that. Be interesting to see how long or how soon execution starts out on a good note so that the backups can come out on the field soon.
Well, like we discussed off the air, Tony, you know, last week was the hard-focused, you know, hard-fought game, and then you come into tonight's game against East Central, you feel like they should be able to take control of the game from the very beginning and put some points on the board and let your backups play, but it hasn't been that easy, and they haven't executed very well the first half. So I'll imagine we'll see the starters, and we'll see them for a little bit until Coach Hill feels satisfied.
And it's a pop-up kick by Jordan Johnson, fielded by Woodard inside the 20. He breaks a tackle, now squirts to the right, now has some room on the right sideline as he races still with one man to go and gets caught from behind and wrestled down by a couple of guys, but not until he gets into Hornet territory near the 36-yard line, where the Rangers will start 1st and 10 on a nice kick return by Woodard, who, oh, by the way, this season is averaging only 19 yards a return, but that's only the 3rd time this season he's got a chance to return a kickoff.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? He had to break 2 or 3 tackles. I don't think one defender cannot bring Woodard down. It takes a whole host of them to get that kid down.
Would not argue with you there. So the Rangers will come out. Levi Williams, the junior signal caller, 8 of 13 for 196 yards in the first half. Has a receiver either way, but tight. 2 backs behind him. The handoff to Franco. He'd get a few yards before he's wrestled down near the 30-yard line. So a gain of almost 6 brings up 2nd down and 4 as the right side of the offensive line that time with Hausler and Kopney did a good job of giving him some room.
Also, Diego Cervantes is in there at fullback. First play from the second half in the 3rd quarter, they come out in 20 personnel, which means you have 2 backs, no tight ends, and 3 wide receivers, so they just run the football behind Cervantes.
2 receivers left this time, 2 backs, 1 either side of Williams. Here comes Franco, has 1 man to beat, spins away from him, now catches the left corner, gets a block, then runs over a defender, breaks a tackle, stays in bounds, and gets across the 15-yard line before he is wrestled down by Eddie Bankston, a sophomore linebacker. But the Rangers have another 1st down.
Yeah, that's that execution we were talking about at halftime, Tony. Like, how are we going to perform, how we're supposed to execute each and every play. That time you had blocks all down the line of scrimmage. Good job of executing that.
Franco getting some good yards here at the opening parts. We've played almost a minute of the 3rd quarter. Williams sees the field with 2 receivers right. Franco again up the middle, a play fake by Williams, but Franco gets inside the 10 as he carries a couple of defenders with him. Now wrestled down at the 9-yard line, a couple of yards short of a 1st down. It's 2nd down and 2 as the offensive line really starting to assert itself.
Assert itself it is. They're just taking control of the defensive line of scrimmage, pushing them back 5 yards. 2nd down and 3 now. And you know, Franco, when you watch him run, he's only 5'9", 190 pounds. He doesn't run like that. He runs like he's a bigger man than that.
So 2nd and short from the 9. A man in motion. They'll give it to Franco up the middle. He gets a block, then spins away from a defender, wrestled down at the 5. A gain of about 4 yards will bring up 1st down and goal. Damian Quick, the sophomore free safety, brought him down. So 1st and goal from the 5 for the Rangers. Cervantes will come out. And Palamine comes in, listed as a tight end, now kind of as a fullback blocker type. It's a jet sweep fake and a pass in the flat. Hunter catches it for a touchdown. Levi Williams, another touchdown, his 4th touchdown pass of the night, his 9th of the season. And the Rangers score on their opening possession of the second half to go up 32-0 with the extra point to come.
That's how you start the second half. Take control of the game, run the football effectively, and when you're down there on the goal line, run a bootleg off the jet sweep where Williams has the option of either keeping it, running it in, or throwing it this time to Hunter, number 5, in the end zone.
Mason Reed on with the extra point try. The snap good, the hold down. The kick is up and through the uprights. It's 33-0. Just an interesting note because we're in a 33-0 game. The 5-yard touchdown pass was completed to number 5, Adorzal Hunter, his second touchdown of the season. But it came on first down, so all the numbers didn't fit perfectly. But it is 33-0, and the Rangers will kick off in just a moment. 9:48 to go in the third quarter.
I think Coach Hill feels a little bit better now. Coming in, opening kickoff, marching down the field, taking control at the line of scrimmage, seeing his first unit really command and take control of the game, getting 7 points on the board. You couldn't draw it up any better than that.
5 plays, 36 yards. 2 minutes, 12 seconds on that touchdown drive. Again, Williams, his 4th touchdown of the night and his 9th of the season. His passing yards over 200 for the night. Mason Reed will get ready to kick off again. We've joked several times this season that there's not many kickers as busy as Mason Reed with extra points and kickoff chores, as it seems like every game he has to kick off at least a half a dozen to a dozen times.
I think he has to ice his leg down after all the times he has to kick.
As he approaches, and the end-over-end kick into the wind is short, fielded at the 22, but the Ranger kick coverage is down in a hurry. Looked like it was Davis who caught it and wrestled down near the 27 or 28-yard line, where the Hornets will start 1st and 10.
You know, Tony, those pooch kickoffs are real effective if you get a lot of air underneath the ball, because that gives your coverage time, your team time to get down the field, where the running back, once he gets it, he doesn't have a whole lot of opportunity to, pick and choose where he wants to run. So that was executed very effectively.
Do you think it's a pooch, or is that wind just strong enough that that's as far as
I think that's more of a pooch.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay. Oglesby will have a receiver in motion. He'll fake it to him and give him to Lott in the backfield, but the Rangers are right there waiting for him. The defensive line of Smithson Valley has been, well, what I would say overwhelming tonight for the Hornets, is they have been unable to block almost anyone in a blue jersey, as all 4 defensive linemen and a linebacker or 2 was there to meet Lott as he took the handoff and actually lost a couple of yards. It's 2nd down and 13.
Well, they're taking advantage of 2 sophomore offensive linemen, Daniel Santillana and Frankie Martinez, both sophomores and starting for the first time.
And here's Lott up the right side, gets a couple of spaces wide, gets 5, maybe 6, 7 yards up ahead to the 30. It's actually 3rd down and 9 now. Give him a gain of about 5.
You think they're going to throw that little quick hitch? That's been their most effective pass play.
Rangers send some backups into the secondary here. Play clock at 15. Oglesby sends 2 receivers to the right. One of them has some cushion. We'll see what they do run. He'll drop straight back, sends a man over the middle. It's intercepted by Chubb at the 40, intended for Strelzik, but I'm not real sure. Well, I can tell you this specifically. Strelzik ran a very horrible route. He just kind of jogged into the middle of the field. Oglesby threw it to him, and he wasn't ready, and Chubb intercepted it.
Tony had no way of really working, because you only sent 2 receivers out, and you had both safeties back, the corner pressing from the outside in, and the linebacker coming right down the middle. I mean, there was no way to get the ball in there.
Maybe Strelzik knew that when he ran the route, because he was not sharp on it at all. The Rangers get the turnover and will go 1st and 10 from the Hornet 39. Williams will throw it to a back out of the backfield. It's Cervantes, but he gets nowhere as he's met, and there are flags all over the place now. A good tackle on the play by Landon Byers, a senior linebacker.
And I think they're going to call holding here on the outside. Byers was trying to get by the blocker to make the tackle, which he did, but he was being held.
So the Rangers will find themselves penalized again on 1st down, so now it'll be 1st and a long way.
That is something that I find that, they've had more penalties, the Rangers, this game than I can recall.
We actually had several in the Steel game as well, very accustomed-like. I'm not so sure that East Central might want to turn this down. It was a loss of 6 or 7 yards.
They declined it.
So it is declined. It'll be 2nd down. And let's see where they spot the ball. I think the official's standing at the 44-yard line. The loss of 5 will make it 2nd and 15.
Yeah, that's not a spot foul then.
From the 44.
So as the game clock rolls at 8:10 to go, Williams wants to pass, has a man wide open. That is, well, I can't see because his number's all jumbled up. Is it Ricky Rios?
Ricky Rios.
It is Rios. You can see the front number, but the back was tucked up under his pads. So, well, so much for the penalty. The Rangers say, hey, Williams hits Rios, who made a move at about the 20 and lost his defender. Williams just threw it high enough and far enough that Rios ran under it, and it's another touchdown, 39-0 with the extra point to come.
That play was successful by that formation. Double slots, wide, and basically Williams could just pick and choose who he wanted to throw to. That time it was Ricky Williams all alone for a touchdown.
So the 44-yard touchdown pass is followed by the extra point, and it's now 40-0. The Rangers on top of East Central. This is the Ranger Network.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and is hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
Back to Ranger Stadium, 8:05 to go in the third quarter. The Rangers have scored twice here in the opening less than 4 minutes to go from 26-0 to 40-0. A pair of touchdown passes by Williams, first to Hunter, the second one to Rios, have given the Rangers 14 third quarter points. And we've not even got to the 8-minute mark yet. So here comes Mason Reed again. And he'll put a toe to it. This end-over-end kick is again short, fielded by Davis at the 15. Has a little bit of room in front of him, has a couple of men he beats. Now he's squirted loose. Has only the kicker to beat, and Reed did a nice job of slowing him down so that he could be picked up by Jacob Johnson, but not until Davis gets to the 37-yard line of Smithson Valley on a nice kickoff return.
Yep, a little bit of a breakdown on the right-hand side of the Rangers kickoff team, and Davis took advantage of it, was able to squirt through, break one arm tackle, and he had a lot of real estate to run in.
46 yards on the kickoff return. He's in Ranger territory now. At the 39 is where they spot it. Oglesby hands it off to Lott, has a seam, and finally knocked down by basically a shoulder or an arm tackle by Chubb. He acts like he's hurt now as he took a shot on that right shoulder. So Ethan Sill will come in to replace him. He did get Lott down, but not until he gained 8 up to the 31. So Oglesby sent 2 receivers to the right. Gives it to Lott again. This time the defensive line beats the tackle. That is Pow who hit the first, or made the first contact, and then several other Rangers were there.
Yep.
Flores also.
I was going to comment, Pow really just blew the play up by getting great penetration, and then the Keeler comes in and kind of wipe it out after that. That's a good-looking play by the defense. You know, right now the defense for the Rangers is very base. They're 4-3. They're playing zone, nothing fancy. They're just getting great penetration by the front four.
Third and 4. They'll give it to Davis. He'll wiggle around one tackler and gets up to about the 30. I think he's going to be about a yard shy of a first down. Depends on the spot. As several Smithson Valley defenders were in there on the play. I think Chubb was down near the bottom of the pile, and then a couple of linebackers, too, and a defensive end.
They're going to measure. No?
Alex Flores. They say he's about a half yard shy at the 29.5. He needs to get to the 29 for a first down, and East Central will go for it. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. It's 40-0 Smithson Valley. Oglesby sends 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. takes the snap, gives it to the up back. No, he keeps it. Nice fake by Oglesby, and he'll get the first down before he's wrestled down by a whole host of defenders. Not until he gets to the 26. It's 1st and 10 for the Hornets.
There you go. That play is nothing more than a quarterback sneak, except you're in a shotgun formation, so you basically fake the handoff and you run behind the running back who's your lead blocker. So in essence, it's just a quarterback sneak.
Excellent description. It is anything but a sneak, but it has the same principle.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying completely. Yeah, it's just he's going right behind blockers. So 1st and 10 for the Hornets. A broken eye beside him. He keeps it again. There's a flag. Oglesby is a big-looking kid, and he does push the pile himself forward. They spot him up to the 24, but the flag will probably bring this one back.
Yeah. I came from the back, Judge, so definitely looks like it's going to be against East Central.
Chop block.
Chop block.
So personal foul, chop block against the Hornets. Tell everybody what a chop block is.
Well, you know, Tony, I was just about ready to comment that I'm glad that that there's certain areas of the formation and the interior line you cannot block below waist, because in the old days you could chop block so easy, even out in space on the corners and the edge and the backfield, and you can really mess up someone's knees. I mean, I'm a product of one of those myself with my knee injury, so I'm glad that now that they're more stringent and there's only certain areas within a yard past the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage, but you can't be engaged and someone come low, and that's what happened.
Indeed. So the 15-yard penalty takes it all the way back to the 41. That brings up 1st down and 25 for the Hornets on a team whose offensive putout hasn't been that much tonight. Here's Oglesby on a keeper.
Keeler. Again.
C.J. Keeler, the senior defensive end, gets in there and wraps him up and spins him down for a loss of a couple of more to the 42.
Keeler's going against Frankie Martinez, who's a sophomore, 6'2", 225, but he's beating the young sophomore almost every play across the line of scrimmage, and that time Keeler gets a sack in the backfield.
Let me say this as we talk about Joe Hubbard wanting to change culture. He's a sophomore playing in front of a senior. We got juniors playing in front of juniors. We've got sophomores playing in front of juniors.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something about the culture change the younger guys are taking over. Here's a handoff by Oglesby, and bouncing out, it looks like Lott, until he runs into Woodard, who wraps him up and brings him down at the 41. So a gain of about a yard brings up 3rd and, again, about 25.
Yeah. Lott trying to get something out of nothing, and when he bounced outside, the pursuit by Woodard just caught up with him. And so that shows great speed on the defensive secondary as well.
That was actually D'Angelo Rosemond with the carry. He is their 3rd tailback. We mentioned their starter, Michael Stevens, out tonight, so Lott's been getting most of the carries, but this time Rosemond, the sophomore, got the carry there. 3rd and forever. Oglesby hands it up the middle, and just a couple of yards is gained up to about the 37. That is, again, Frank Lott.
Yeah. They just don't have the personnel that they have confidence in that they can throw the football effectively. That's kind of the bottom line. Because now they're going into that bunch formation. Well, the only thing you can do out of that is maybe a bootleg if you're going to throw the football, or run the football. And that's what it's designed to do.
So punt formation. The line to go is the 15, and they're at the 37. Still a long way to go. Strelzik will punt, try to angle it toward the sideline. It comes near sideline and hits high and out of bounds. Don't know where they'll spot it as the line judge is slow in getting there, but he'll spot it at about the 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, he's marking it with the referee up to the 9-yard line is where they say it went out of bounds.
Kind of an ugly punt, but the result was pretty good.
Yes, it was. It'll pin the Rangers back inside their 10. We'll see who comes out on the offensive side.
I was just thinking. Is this the second unit?
There are some backups on the offensive line.
Who's the quarterback?
Corey Eilers. Colton Eilers, pardon me. He'll look out, pass to the outside, caught by the receiver out here, which is Anderson, the punter. France Anderson takes a nice route up the left sideline, and the pass and throw good for a 1st down up to the 27. The Rangers in business with some backups on the field right now. 2:55 to go in the third quarter.
Absolutely. This is critical time now to get your backups some playing time. Great situation. You're 40-0 in the third quarter. You probably count on the backups playing the rest of the game.
Play clock at 15 is Eilers and the offensive unit gets the signal. Play clock now near 7. Eilers has backs either side of him, 2 receivers to the right. The handoff going to the right is Eggleston. He gets to the corner, turns up the field where he meets a defender who shoves him out of bounds. So Eggleston with a nice gain of about 5 yards up to the 32-yard line. Met in a hurry there by safety Alan Dukes. So it'll be second down, and we'll say 6 as they spotted at the 31.
Pretty good job by the offensive line, just man-on-man blocking that time. And you get the ball into Eggleston's hands and let his speed do the rest.
Eilers says something to Eggleston in the broken eye. 2 receivers to the left. Eggleston up the middle, kind of a trap block as he'll get a couple of yards up to the 39. It'll be third down and about 3.
Big play here to keep the chains moving and keep the clock running. That's the strategy this series, it looks like. Probably nothing fancy, but maybe that jet sweep, something like that. Maybe it might be the call.
Speedy receiver is far to the right. That is Rivera. And they jump off sides. They do
Who was that?
Throw the flag, and they must have been somebody on the Rangers moving. No other reason to stop with the whistle there because I didn't see contact.
Who was that? Gavin Rodriguez. He came across the line of scrimmage, but was he drawn off?
That's the question.
Yep.
Looks like a first quarter conference here with our officials.
Legal procedure.
Yep.
Okay.
So the Rangers will, instead of a third and about 3, will have third and about 8 as they'll lose 5 yards on the illegal procedure. So a different play call comes in from the sideline.
Third down, 8 yards to go from the 29.
As a couple of players come in and out, and now
Henderson's back in the game.
2 receivers go either way. Eilers has a lone set back to his right. Eilers straight drop back, looking left, throws it over the top, intended for and caught. A nice running catch by Gilliam, and he races out of bounds inside the midfield area. Gilliam up to the 41 before he's knocked out of bounds by Dukes, and it's a first down for the Rangers.
Well, that was a pretty pass by Eiler. Just set his feet planted in the turf, had time to wait for the receiver to make his break. That was a nice-looking pass catch that time.
Eilers, who came into the game 6 of 7 on the season for 60 yards and a touchdown, made a nice throw that time. A receiver either way on a 2 tight end formation. Now sending in motion is Rivera. The jet sweep, got some blocks across the 40 and out of bounds inside the 35. They'll mark him clear down at the 31. That'll be close to a first down. We'll have to see if we have a measurement or not.
Nothing fancy, just man-on-man blocking by the line of scrimmage. The lead back and give it to the jet sweep, the receiver coming across the formation, and let his speed and let his athleticism take over, and that's all it is. It's a very simple play.
And they call it a first down as he's at the 31.
That's a good play then.
So 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Eilers hands it off. Eggleston, right side, carries some people with him, but here comes a flag, and as one of our linemen is laying on top of one of their defensive linemen, that might have been where the hold was because that's where the flag landed.
Yeah. Good effort by Eggleston that time, cutting and darting through the interior line of scrimmage, picking up about 5 yards basically on his own. This is going to come back, though.
So holding, it looks like the left guard, Merrick Everett, will be the guilty party, but Ranger offense will just have another challenge to overcome as the third quarter will come to an end shortly. 8 seconds left. I don't think the clock will start until the play begins, so we probably have one more play of the quarter. I am incorrect as the official starts the clock, and that will be the last play of the third quarter. So the Rangers up 40-0 with 12 minutes to go in the game. here in homecoming 2017. 2017 is what we normally say, but in any event, we're back on the Ranger Network after this timeout. Well, maybe we'll just keep it here. Rangers 3-0.
Third quarter scores in the district: Clemens 16, Wagner 0. Judson 35, Steele 7.
Judson 35, Steele 7 is an update we forgot to bring you at halftime. Judson really having no trouble with Steele, and Clemens has been up on Wagner all night. It's 16-0 now in the fourth quarter there. So we are about ready to start the fourth quarter here from Ranger Stadium. The Rangers lead at 40-0. 12 minutes of action to go. The Rangers on offense up to the 41-yard line of East Central, but it is 1st and 20. Eilers takes the handoff, gives it to Eggleston, tries to duck under some of the defenders, but there wasn't a whole lot of room there. He gets back maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 19.
That was a really good job by the defensive front four for the Hornets. That would be Keeson King and Jordan Shedrock right up the middle. Those two tackles have been very busy this afternoon.
So the Rangers let the play clock run a little bit, not trying to be in too much of a hurry. We've played 30 seconds into the second half. Eilers surveys the situation and takes the snap. Fakes the handoff, and then almost a interception as Evian Thompson read the throw out to Anderson out on the left side. Thompson jumped it but couldn't hang on to the ball, and there's a pick six that didn't happen.
Yeah, that's that opportunity that Thompson had by jumping that hot route. Had him right in the hands, and I don't know if he looked towards the end zone or what, but he had an opportunity there. Nice break, though, on the ball.
He did.
Nice break.
So 3rd down and 19. Eilers has a receiver either side now. A couple of tight ends. Eggleston the setback. Here's Rivera, the jet sweep going left. Has a blocker, has a man to get around, and he can't because he runs out of real estate. The defense, pretty good job getting over there in time. And the Rangers will find themselves 4th down and a bunch as the ball spotted at the 38. Still about 16 to go.
Anderson standing here on the sidelines waiting for Coach Hill's decision.
They're going to go for it, which has been the custom most of the time for Coach Hill this season. Eilers will send 2 receivers left and 2 to the right. Eggleston's the lone setback. Straight drop, short drop, fires a dart. Palamine catches it at the 25, muscles up, tries to get up to the line of scrimmage at the 21, and they're going to mark him inside the 21, and that'll be enough for a 1st down. The East Central players, Johnson and King, tried everything they could to push him back, but they still give him forward progress for a 1st down.
Unbelievable how you were able to throw that football and get just enough for the 1st down. As a defender, you know, playing that zone defense, everyone wants to look back at the quarterback, but what you want to do is you get to your zone area, and if a receiver comes in the area, lock on to the man.
Bobby Palamine getting some playing time tonight. Makes a big 1st down catch there. They'll run the ball. Eggleston up the middle, has a seam left side, breaks a tackle, then runs over one of the defenders inside the 5, down at the 3. Greg Eggleston making some nice runs tonight. The sophomore, 5'10", 155. Good yardage on that one. Another 1st down at the 3.
Eggleston got a really nice block by his left guard. Merrick Everett, 6 feet, 235 junior, did a nice job blocking down on the nose tackle.
So from the 3, it's 1st and goal. Eggleston again, muscles up, goes across, and that's a touchdown. Yep. So the sophomore gets it done, and the Rangers go up 46 with the extra point to come.
Nice trap block that time, and it was just a trap play right up the mid, right up the gut of the defense. Right now, you just see Smithson Valley just wearing down the Hornet defense. Everything they do, they just don't have enough gas in them to be able to defend.
Mason Reed on for the extra point. And this one is up and good. It's 47-0. If my math is right, it should be 49, right? That's the 7th touchdown. So
yes.
we've had one missed and one bobbled and one missed.
Right.
Yes. So 47-0. The Rangers lead it. 9:54 to go in this one. We're back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Tom Brady, that's a mic drop. This is football, and this is how it is. Let's just get right to it.
Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday.
Watch NFL Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 579. GVTC, just plain smart.
We're back to Ranger Stadium. The Rangers lead at 47-0 over East Central in the 2nd District game of the season. The Rangers, with a win tonight, will improve to 5-0 and 2-0 in district play. East Central will fall to 0-5 and 0-2. 11 plays, 91 yards on the drive. It consumed 5 minutes and 13 seconds, which is the best news of the night. A lengthy drive. Mason Reed with the wind at his back angles this one to Davis, who bobbles it. It's down at the 10. It's loose. Who will fall on it? It looks like Davis got it back on his knees at the 14. A couple of Rangers had a shot, but Davis got a paw on it and brought it back in, and even though it went off his chest, it is still East Central ball. 13-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, bad field position after that bobbled catch. But this has kind of been the storyline all night long. You know, just when you think that East Central has a little momentum and getting a little bit of rhythm on offense, they have a blow-up, or they get bad field position, or they allow a big play by Smithson Valley, and it just blows the game wide open.
Looks like they have a different quarterback, and it looks like it's their receiver, Strelzik. He'll hand it off. Couple of yards up to
Lott.
Maybe the 14-yard line is Frank Lott. Give him a yard to the 14. It's 2nd down and 9. Strelzik not listed as the backup quarterback, but senior Blake Casey is, and he has not come out here. So, in fact, I see him now on the sideline in shorts and a jersey. So
that's one reason.
So many of their players tonight are in street clothes, it's kind of hard to tell who's whom. Strelzik, the backup quarterback, on to take the call, takes the handoff, fakes it to Lott, keeps it himself. He's wrestled down after he gets back near the line of scrimmage, maybe to the 15, a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Caleb Reed, a backup tackle, junior, 195 pounds, did a nice job going down the line of scrimmage, shedding his block and getting in on Strelzik for the tackle.
Brian Robles, a backup defensive end, was also near the bottom of that pile again. 0 for 10 on 3rd and 9. The Hornets are 0 for 10 on 3rd downs tonight. This one will not be any easier than any of the rest. Strelzik still in a huddle, and the play clock now at 5. They're not going to get this one off either.
No, they're no
And I'm
hurry.
not real sure their coach is going to call a timeout, but
he just did.
He just did. Well,
that's just really.
I'm telling you, if you're in a playground and you take a huddle that long, kids are yelling at you. You know,
Exactly.
Why are you huddling for that long to call a play? Everybody knows in football today that the plays are what, 4 or 5 discussions. You know, something 19, 20. You know, it's not much. You get an offensive line, you get a.
It's not that complicated. I mean, it can be complicated, but not that complicated. What my question is whoever's making the call, is it coming from the press box to someone on the field and it relayed to someone trying to signal it or run the play in? That's what I don't understand.
All I know is they took the huddle at about 17 and didn't break it till 5. Yeah. So him describing those 4 or 5 calls took way too long.
Way too long.
Maybe that's because he's a backup quarterback and he just wanted to encourage his guys, but 7:47 to go in the game. That is not a penalty or a timeout you should have to take. 3rd and long. Strelzik sends 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. It's a fake. Oh, there's whistles.
Why will you stop the play? It was a busted play. Chelsick, he turned to the right to fake a handoff. Wait a minute, what happened? So it was a non-play? It's 3rd and 10.
The umpire is yelling at the referee. He's not real sure what was supposed to happen there. Now the line judge has come all the way onto the field. There's some confusion. We talked about this these officials.
And the play clock's running right now. Now they have to call another timeout.
I mean, the umpire still had the ball in his hand. How were they supposed to go into formation? There's some confusion out on the field, and I'm not sure anyone is more confused than the officiating crew. But it is 47-0.
But, Tony, the referee actually stopped the play in the middle of the play for whatever reason.
Well, the back judge was running in, too. They all had something, and I'm not real sure what it was.
Yeah.
But they forced East Central to call another timeout, and I'm not sure that is something we needed to do. And again, we've kept this one here. 7:45 to go. 2 seconds ran off when there wasn't a play. So now it is 3rd and 9, and we are going to have a play. The play clock starts. The Hornets are at the line of scrimmage. Strelzik sends 2 receivers to the right. Wants to roll to the right. Has a man in the flat. Throws it. Completed. Short of the first down. Looked like that was Lott who caught it.
That's a good-looking play. A little rollout by Stelzik that time, and he could probably have the option of keeping it and running with it. But he had Lott wide open on the out route, and he threw it, and his nice catch is just a little short for the first down.
So it is 4th down and about a yard. Do they have 11 players out there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, they do. They're just all bunched up.
They're bunched up on the right side.
Oh, my. Play clock at 10. Strelzik back in punt formation. He'll kick this one. One of his highest kicks of the night. Woodard wants to fair catch it, but too many people in his way. It takes a Ranger bounce as much as anything and goes dead at the Hornet 46-yard line. The punt of about 26 yards and no return with 6:52 to go. The Rangers have the ball and the lead of 47-0.
It's probably good that Ricky Rios didn't catch that and actually have a chance to make a play on it. There's no telling how far he might have ran that one back. Got the second offensive line in.
And the 3rd quarterback, Christian Hallam, now in at quarterback for the Rangers. 2 receivers left. Tailback is, this one's Leo Garcia, and he's loose. He turns the left corner off left tackle and turns it upfield and gets a first down carry up to the 34-yard line. As players are shuffling in right and left.
I really can't keep up, honestly. Hallam is a senior.
Yeah,
6 foot, 180 pounds.
He was the backup quarterback last year.
Okay, all right.
And sends 2 receivers to the right. He's going to keep it coming right on 1st and 10. Stays in bounds and gets hit and tackled by Jordan Garcia. The linebacker brings him down after a gain of 1. It's 2nd down and 9.
And they're doing some more substituting on the offensive line. You're getting everybody involved tonight. That's great.
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
Wyatt Doss, the receiver on this side.
Question for you, Tony.
Kuykendall and I'm not real sure who that other receiver is on the far side.
Yeah. I'll ask you the question after this.
Okay. 2nd and 9 from the 33. Hallam takes it, hands it off. Nice play fake afterwards is the running back. It looks like it's Garcia again. Jumps over one defender. Gets up to about the 30, a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Go ahead.
Well, my question is that if you play as a JV, are you able to still be moved up for a game on the varsity? Because
yes,
it looks like right now that they are playing a lot of the younger kids that might have even played in a JV game, and this gives them good varsity experience.
Yeah, I don't think there's any rule against that.
Okay.
So 2 receivers left. Call this a full house backfield with 3 guys back there. Going left is the running back. This time it's Spencer. He cuts upfield off left tackle and gets 4 yards ahead to about the 26-yard line. So it'll be a 4th down and about 2.
They're going to go for it, of course. And they're still substituting more players.
3 or 4 specialists come in and 3 or 4 others go out.
If you have a Smithson Valley helmet on, you're playing tonight. You're in the game.
Hallam surveys and gets the Hornets to jump that time. I don't know if the Rangers moved, but that'll be a 1st down by penalty if they didn't. Good hard snap count. And with 4:07 to go, a 1st down on 4th down. So a 4th down conversion. Ball will be spotted at the 21 where it'll be 1st and 10.
Well, as they try to eat up as much time as they can, and they're just methodically marching down the field. Now 1st down on the 21. Great opportunity to score again.
Game clock runs under 4 minutes to go. Play clock at 10 as the Rangers break their huddle. 2 receivers right. Hand off to...
Nice run.
That is Spencer again. Nice run off the right side. Good push by the offensive line. Gets a 9-yard carry.
You know what I like about this? There are some seniors that maybe just never was on the 1st or 2nd depth chart, but now they get a chance because this is their senior year to be able to actually play in a game. And so I think this is a great idea and a great situation that Coach Hill has his team in, that these kids get a chance to even get on the field and play some.
No doubt about it. 2 receivers right, a full house backfield. Now in motion, well, they're split the side. Here's Spencer coming right, has some blocks, has 1 man to beat, gets a shirt pulled, but he gets a 1st down yardage inside the 10 before he's wrestled down by 3 different defenders. As Charles Webster, a senior linebacker, comes in and puts a lick on him, but not until he gets up to the 7 for a 1st and goal for the Rangers.
Yeah, also Jordan Garcia, who's also a senior linebacker, 6'2", 180. He was in on that tackle as well. Clock keeps running.
It does, as it goes under 2:35 before this one is snapped. Hallam with 2 receivers to the left. Gives the handoff up near the goal line. Everybody trying to push.
Garcia?
They'll spot it at the 1. I do believe you're right. It is Garcia.
Garcia, the ball carrier once more.
Who gets a carry to the goal line and then gets shuffled in and out.
Wait a minute. Leave him in there.
2nd and goal from the 1.
So it is Dane Spencer, the junior, beside Hallam now with a 2 tight end formation, a receiver either side, but everybody in tight. Spencer moves to the right of Hallam. Now in motion is the receiver, and there's a receiver sweep to Hilston, who goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Michael Hilston, the senior wide receiver, gets a touchdown, and the Rangers go to 53-0 as we've got under 2 minutes to play in this one.
You know, what a signature play that the Rangers have in that jet sweep, and the variation, the other things you can do off of that jet sweep, and the fake, the bootleg, the quarterback keeper off of it. It's just a really good play. And when you have that kind of speed on the option with the wide receivers coming across the formation, it's just a good staple to have in your arsenal.
So the Rangers will go for the extra point. And this is a different kicker, and it looks like Brian Robles, who got a tackle earlier as a defensive end, kicks the extra point for 54-0.
Well, he kicked that over the back the stands.
He did get a
good-looking kick.
He did indeed. The Rangers up 54-0. We're back after this timeout.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
Rangers lead at 54-0. We're back to Ranger Stadium. 1:44 to go in this one. Again, the Rangers will improve to 5-0 on the season, 2-0 in district play. Judson will win tonight, and Clemens will win tonight, and New Braunfels won last night. We'll go through those standings just momentarily. Robles will kick off. His kick angles towards the near sideline where Davis will let it go into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Hornets. Smithson Valley goes to 5-0, 2-0. Judson goes to 5-0, 2-0. Clemens goes to 5-0, 2-0. And after that, New Braunfels with a win over Canyon. They're both 1-1. Wagner falls, so they're 0-2 in district play. Steele is 0-2 in district play. East Central is 0-2 in district play.
Would you have thought that Steele would be 0-2 in district play at this point?
Not at all.
September?
Not at all.
I wouldn't either.
So the Hornets will have what is likely to be their final offensive possession of the night. Looks like Strelzik's back at quarterback. Takes the snap, hands it off. That is yet a new running back, Ivan Chivara, the senior wide receiver, 5'8", 150.
Good to see him get a little action tonight.
He gained about 5 up to the 30, 2nd down and 5.
Well,
play clock has run almost 20 seconds, and they're still in a huddle. 1:15 to go. Finally, the play comes in. Strelzik sends 2 receivers to the right. There's a tight end on the left, a wing on the right, the lone setback. And he lets the play clock go all the way under 5 before he snaps the ball. Hands it off again, and down by contact is Chavarria, the senior. Okay, and it's 2nd down and about 7 now from the 28-yard line. Game clock under a minute to go at 44 and running. And again, they huddle up with no hurry.
No, none whatsoever. All game long it's been like this.
It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, that's one way of keeping your opponent's offense off the field. As long as you move the chains and make first downs, that's a great strategy.
Sure. Strelzik again. Waits for the snap. Hands it off for the 3rd time, and the Rangers will stop. So it'll be 4th down, and that'll be the final play of the game. As the clock goes under 10 seconds to go, the Rangers will come away with a 54-0 victory over East Central on a beautiful Friday night here at Ranger Stadium. Homecoming 2017 for the Rangers, who jolt across the field for handshakes and stuff. We'll have a post-game show after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything. Just came here to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Just press enter and your GVTC home DVR will record your show automatically.
Thanks, Doug from GVTC, who looks exactly like Ranger Senior CJ Keeler.
I'm just Doug, here to help.
Fumble!
Here you go. Can I help you set up your favorite channel list now?
Tony Brubaker and Jeff Gandy back with you. Austin Milam compiling the stats for us tonight. We've got some final thoughts, and we'll go through the stats. First downs, 19-5 in favor of the Rangers. Third down efficiency, something we talked about all night. The Rangers 1 of 6, not good. The Hornets 0 for 12. Running the ball, 180 yards for the Rangers, 308 through the air, so 488 yards of offense. A lot of that, and almost half of that in the second half, what you expect with, again, second and third teamers being just as efficient as the first teamers were.
Yeah, they really did. And, you know, Coach Hill probably feels really good about giving his second and third teamers some chance, some opportunities out, have some live under the lights, so to speak, on Friday night. And they performed well. You know, we talked about the efficiencies. The first half versus the third quarter, when the first unit was back on the field in the third quarter, they looked a lot better. It looked like the typical Ranger offense that we'd see. And they were very efficient. First half, a little stuttering, but you know what? That can be expected as well.
Levi Williams, 11 of 16 on the night, 240 yards, 5 touchdown passes. Leading rusher Mark Franco, 9 carries, 68 yards. But look at that, Eggleston with 40, Rivera with 10, Garcia with 19. You know, everybody had a chance. Dane Spencer with 20.
Yep.
For the Hornets, Oglesby, 6 of 13, 33 yards. That's where he was at half, so he did not complete a pass in the second half. Leading receiver, well, a bunch of guys had a bunch of catches. Rios and Woodard each with 3. Hunter had 2. Rios really the king of the yardage with 106 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. Mason Pierce caught 1 for 40 yards and a touchdown. Pierce also ran the ball for a touchdown. On 1 carry he had 1 catch for 40 yards for a touchdown, 1 rush for 8 yards and a touchdown, 2 touches tonight on offense, and both were touchdowns.
Yeah.
And yet he also had 2 interceptions to set up situations. So Mason Pierce, one of our players of the game if we had one.
If we had one, exactly. Well-rounded. He played really, really well on both sides of the football. You know, his passing stats are a little deceptive because they were big plays, plus 20, 25 yards apiece, and that really kind of skews the stats. But bottom line is that a good team can make explosive plays. You know, you have to be able to prevent that as well. And you know what? The Rangers did what they wanted to do for what the defense from East Central gave them, and they took advantage of it.
All right, the Rangers win it. Their victory is 54-0 over East Central. The Rangers again moved to 5-0 on the season, 2-0 in district. 3 teams tied for first still after tonight. Judson also 5-0 and 2-0. Clemens 5-0 and 2-0. The Rangers have a bye week next Friday night. They will not be playing, but we will have a broadcast for you. Canyon Lake will be on the air next Friday night, and we'll have that call for you. Otherwise, the Rangers back in action in 2 weeks at Wagner. And the last 5 games are like this. Week 7, it's Wagner on the road, then Clemens at home, then at Canyon, then at Judson, and New Braunfels at home in the season finale, the regular season finale. So the Rangers have 5 down and 5 to go halfway through the season and still spotless, and I know that's good news for Coach Larry Hill.
great news, as a matter of fact. And, you know, being able to play your second and third stringers in the middle of the season is pretty important as well, because they've had a couple injuries to some key players. Now he's been able to see some of the backups rise up and see how well they can play as well. So this is pretty good prescription for the season if you're a Ranger fan.
It is, without a doubt. So, again, we're going to say goodnight to you on this beautiful Friday night from Ranger Stadium. I am Tony Brubaker alongside of Jeff Gandy and Austin Milam. That's a wrap, 54-0 the Rangers. Good night and God bless.